we love sports just like you.
Welcome to the Team Podcast, episode 021. My name is Nash, host of the Team Podcast, and sitting directly adjacent to me is Wells of the Horseplay Podcast.
That's a big word, bud.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about the word adjacent. Do we know what it means, actually?
And that voice you just heard is the great DJ Smythe on the 1 and 2s.
DJ.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? How was your week?
All right. Started making beats.
Oh, you're back into producing?
Yeah, I made some beats. And
just for fun, or just to see if you still got it? You gonna make some money on this?
I think I'm gonna make an album and bring in some local rappers and have them come in and rap to the beats.
Interesting.
Put some treble in it.
I think I'm gonna DJ Khaled it this summer. I think, right?
Have a baby.
Yeah, we're gonna be podcasting, so it's like we the best all summer and shit.
Very interesting. Very interesting. What'd you get up to this week, Wells?
None of your business, man.
All right, sorry. I keep asking you. You keep saying
No, man. I didn't really do much, to be honest. I went to the rec room on Saturday.
Oh, how's that? I haven't been there yet.
It's okay. It's pretty pricey, man. It's like, it's like a Dave & Buster's type thing, right? But like the drinks, like $10 for a pint, man.
Oh yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, like the cheapest pint is like $8.50.
Oh my god,
plus tax. So.
Can you explain to the listeners what the rec room is?
I just did. It's like Dave & Buster's.
Oh, like a Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, it's you know what though, you get a group of people and you go and it's pretty fun.
That's cool. Are the games the same or is it like more?
There's like a couple arcade games like Big Buck Hunter and like Golden Tee, and there's a couple racing games, but then there's like most of it's like those tokens.
Yeah. Oh.
And so they don't actually give you like coupons and stuff. They just you have like this. You walk around with like a band, right? You scan it to like play a game, and then let's say I get like 300 credits or tokens or whatever for winning something. It just goes onto your band.
Do you like? Is it for like elastic bands and toy figures and stuff, or is it?
Yeah. They had like Jose Batista bobbleheads for like 2,000 coupons or whatever.
Can you get like food office? You get like a discount on your food or your drinks?
I don't know, man.
I
doubt drinks.
Where's the rec room? I can't remember.
Do you know where Steam Whistle is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right there.
Across from there, right?
Used to be like a Leon's or something or a Brick.
Oh, that
Used to be the
place.
Brick.
Yeah,
okay,
Roundhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, I know where that is. For those outside of Toronto, it's right near the Sky Dome.
Outside of the center of the universe.
Yeah.
It's right near the Sky Dome. So, I watched Annihilation. You
know. I'm sorry. Was that your fiance?
I think they'd be professionals in
Does
this
she
place.
not know that we're recording?
Yeah, she knows, but usually I put the phone on vibrate.
She doesn't care that you're recording right now.
What's going on, Mrs. Nash? You know better. I know you're listening too.
Yeah.
So I watched Annihilation this week. Not gonna spoil it for anybody.
Just spoil it. I'm not gonna watch it.
No.
I'm gonna watch it though, so don't spoil it.
No, Wells gonna watch it.
Is he?
I wanted you to watch it, Wells, because I really want. Because basically, anyone I've talked to has come away with a different interpretation of the movie. There's no set interpretation.
I'll watch
of the movie.
it.
So it's very excellent. So what was weird about this movie was not really weird, but
Spoiler alert.
no, I'm not spoiling.
You said too much.
So
I don't want to know that much. to be
3
honest.
countries got released in theaters. The rest of the world got released on Netflix,
Yeah,
Oh.
which was kind of weird. I didn't know that until I actually left.
Are we in Netflix?
No, we're
should be tomorrow. I think it's coming out on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Nice. Watching it in the
Wasted
morning.
well, I want to see it in theaters. It was actually a good experience in theaters.
That's
So I'm-
dope.
Hey, this is a great movie. Wait, you mean it's coming out for free
Wait,
tomorrow?
what?
I wasted my money.
I'm not going to work tomorrow. I'm going to watch Annihilation.
I think it drops at like midnight.
I don't know if you'll like it though, Smythe. I don't know if you'll like
I don't know, man. Natalie Portman, I'm in.
it. Yeah.
Alex Garland, I'm in.
I mean, what is that supposed to mean?
So are you
You'll
gonna
see when you.
are you gonna finish your thought on that, or
Are you gonna?
I don't even know what I had.
Oh.
No, that was my thought.
I started watching a new show. This happens very rarely.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Fargo.
Really?
Oh man, I want to watch that. There's too many shows. I want to watch that. That one's
good.
what I want. to
It's
watch.
really good, man.
Did you watch the movie, Smythe?
Yeah. I felt like I'm not going to watch the show because I watched the movie.
No. It's Billy Bob is the man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm only a couple episodes in, but Billy Bob is the man. It's so good.
You know what? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna start watching it. And if I don't like it,
It's the main guy in it is the colonizer from Black Panther.
colonizer.
Such a good movie.
Wakanda forever.
Oh, Fargo. Such.
No, the Black Panther.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a good movie. Fargo's excellent too. I think.
Fargo's a good movie, but like it's. I don't understand why they use the name Fargo. I guess maybe that gets people into
Has
it.
nothing to do with the movie. Does it?
No,
Not
not
really.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it's a whole
It's
different
just the
story.
setting.
Yeah, which, you know.
Season 1 and season 2 are two different stories, so it's kind of like True Detective.
Nice. I like those type of
I
shows.
feel like I don't want to watch it now.
You should, man.
You watch-
It took me so long to get into it, but so many people recommended it, and I was like, okay, I'll get it.
So you just struggled through the whole season and decided you liked it after it was over.
No,
I meant like people told me, and it takes me a lot to like start getting
Yeah.
invested into a show because you're sitting there for an hour at least to watch one episode. So I tried with Game of Thrones, can't do it, and then this show I was like totally into it. Billy Bob is so good.
Game of Thrones, you can't do it. Like I was in training for the last 2 weeks, and we've been watching. I've been watching Game of Thrones from the beginning.
I've been in training, but I haven't done the training.
Well, there's a TV there, so on lunch we just for the whole hour we just watch Game of Thrones. Like a bunch of guys in there just like
I like that.
totally love it, so we watch it.
Game of Thrones, 5 episodes in, that's what I gave it. Nothing happened besides a dog tearing someone up.
It's a long setup. It's a
Yeah.
long setup for but it's you.
Nothing happens, man.
Now tell me if this is true for you though, Smythe. At the end of that season, is like I'm watching this.
Yeah, well,
That's when I was like I'm watching this.
I also watched it in one day, season 1. So,
did you?
Yeah,
Holy cow, man. That's a long day.
yeah. Well, I was just told you have to just watch the whole season.
I haven't done that since Lost because I didn't start watching Lost till maybe it was 3 or 4 seasons in. And then one day I went to Blockbuster, rented like the first couple
Blockbuster.
exactly.
You're
rented the first
dating
couple
yourself.
of DVDs.
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh wow, I watched the first 3 seasons in 2 weeks.
Just
And
like,
that's when like shows were 24 episodes.
Yeah.
I did Lost the same way too. I binge watched it on Netflix. I think I just sat and watched the whole thing. I think in 3 weeks, and I was just like, it's pretty. Then season 6 happened, and I was like,
Yeah.
I wasted so much time with this.
Yeah. I watched season 1, same thing. Like I watched the whole thing in probably like 2 days, and I was like, how much longer do I have to wait for the start of season 2, man? I want it to start now.
What is in this
Who's in the
hatch?
hatch, man?
What is going on in
Now,
here?
see, this is the issue. Now, this is the issue
Englishman?
with Netflix. I'm hearing some people are saying it's like when a show comes out, they release all the episodes.
Yeah.
They're starting another couple other shows where they release weekly. I hate that. But what people are quote unquote complaining about is they watch the first season in 2 days, 3 days, and then they have nothing to watch.
Yeah.
It's their fault, man.
So people are like,
Watch another show.
I would
Rather
rather
come
have
weekly.
it come weekly, and I don't want that at all.
No,
No,
but
fuck
the thing
that.
about Netflix, what I love, it's like, okay, this weekend this is happening. So you're like, all right, you can plan to dedicate an entire day to the whole thing. Like Jessica Jones just dropped, right?
Yes, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch
right?
that.
Like,
I'll watch that this weekend.
on Saturday. Okay, not on Saturday. Sorry. On Sunday, that's all we're going to do.
Yeah.
The whole day. Like,
Me and Casey are watching the show Voltron's cartoon, but binge watched that in a couple hours, and that was it.
Yep.
And now I want to watch it. Now I really can't wait for next season. But yeah. So Annihilation, big recommend from Nash here. So the Oscars came and went. Did you guys watch it?
we talked about this last week, didn't we?
No, we talked about our picks last week. But I'm
That's
just
right.
wondering if you guys.
Well, a few
watched
interesting
that.
things happened.
Like
Kobe Bryant won an Oscar.
that was interesting. That was
Pretty
interesting. Did you watch it, Wells?
I didn't watch any of it, man.
Nothing, man.
Nothing good.
Nothing. Grinding Nemo won. You didn't. I expected that.
Grinding Nemo?
Grinding Nemo.
Oh, is that supposed to be like a Shape of Water thing?
Yeah, Shape of Water.
Oh.
The thing about Shape of Water is she has sex with a fish man. That's why I said grinding.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Definitely not
Oh,
watching
if you
it.
haven't heard, come on, that's all over the internet. Like,
Yeah, well, no.
I haven't heard of it.
I haven't heard of it, and now I don't want to watch it.
I really haven't, man. I try and watch Guillermo del Toro stuff, but I don't know, man. That premise just doesn't interest me.
Doesn't make sense
No.
to you at all.
it's a very beautiful movie.
So,
Oh, very beautiful.
Beautiful.
beautiful's a good word.
Wow. It's elegant.
So the reason why I said Kobe Bryant winning an Oscar is in light of the Me Too movement, a lot of people were upset that Kobe was being honored at the Oscars, even though he was...
Elaborate, please. Why were they upset?
Oh, because he was accused of rape in 2003, right?
Oh, yes.
So they were saying that it was like a slap in the face to the Me Too movement because,
I don't know about that.
well, I was like, well, he was accused and it was proven in court that he was not at all guilty. So I don't understand.
Yeah, so it should be. It should be a pass. This
So he
is
was acquitted. So I don't know,
Yeah.
like,
this is the problem with today's social media thing. And I was having a conversation with I think Casey about this. It's pitchforks and torches.
Oh, man. Mob mentality.
Yeah, mom mentality. Pitchforks and forks. Like there's Mark Wahlberg. As a kid, he was a bad kid. Like he was racist. He stoned Koreans. He blinded a guy and blah blah blah. I'm like,
that's pretty bad.
no, it's bad. And he was a kid when he did this. He was a kid.
Yeah.
Now as he's grown up, is he not allowed to change? maybe he's a way, way better person. He probably wouldn't go to that Mark Wahlberg of the past and say, don't do that. That's stupid.
He's probably embarrassed of his past.
Yeah. But people still, is like, they can't let it go. It's like, no, he's a bad person. I'm like, that was when he was like 14. He's like 40 now.
Like,
so
whole lifetime's passed. But I don't know. I called it a witch hunt when it first started, just because people were falling out of the sky, basically falling from grace. Mm-hmm. Now it's getting to the point where, like, hey, someone said that you did a bad thing this one time. You're obviously a terrible person. Like, there is no Jesus.
And almost no evidence. Just to back it up. In some cases,
there's no evidence to back up what the accused was, right? Because something obviously happened.
It doesn't matter anymore. As soon as you get accused,
you're guilty.
Whether you're innocent or guilty, right?
Yeah,
that's it. You're done. You're like blacklisted.
What I also don't like is like details of your intimate sex life are just now out there. Like Gian Gameshi, for instance, like what he was doing. I mean, it's aggressive. Was it wrong? No. It was proven in court that these women, were playing along with his game. But now, if he's going to hit on a woman, they'd have to be into BDSM, whatever all those crazy fetish things are. Like, he can't date a normal, nice girl now. I guess.
Well, I don't think you ever.
I guess
you actually ever watch.
Punch her in the face, but it just now you know what he does. Like, what's Aziz Ansari?
Yeah,
you can't ask a girl out on a date now.
That was another weird one,
right?
It just
I'm sure he'll be fine.
But the whole thing was, it was a magazine. It wasn't actually the girl. It was a magazine who searched her out, put her story out there, and like she was fine. She was moved past it, and she was like done. But it was a magazine who did all this stuff.
That was such a dumb thing to
was.
post.
Yeah,
that was not. He didn't do anything wrong.
No.
He was an awkward date. Was just a story about a bad sexual experience.
And again, the girl she moved on. She was fine with this. And then the magazine, I can't remember what magazine it was, searched her out and put this story out there.
Well, she got attacked, and the magazine got attacked, and
it was a bad article.
Yeah.
It was a horrible article.
Yeah.
Really bad take.
But Aziz Ansari still like he's I don't know.
Well, you know what it is if you actually here's the thing. People will post something and not even people won't even read it. They'll just see the headline.
Read the
like,
headline.
oh my god, they got Aziz. It's like
that's what I said.
Yeah. Oh my god, man, they got Aziz. But if you actually read the article, you're like, wait a minute, you didn't really do anything wrong.
No.
Yeah.
It was just an awkward sexual experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is all it's going to take now.
Yeah. Which is.
Well, I think now we're getting the extreme the other way, where there's an accused and everyone's like, no, it's not that bad. He just whipped his dick out. And that's okay,
at least
you know?
CK admitted it. He's like, all right, I whipped my dick out a few times.
All right, awkward transition.
Nice segue.
Awkward transition. Let's talk some NBA.
Sports.
So, there's a lot of winning streaks going on right now. So we got the Grizzlies and Raptors, 6-game winning streak.
Yeah.
We got the Blazers, who are on an 8-game winning streak and third in the conference. Pelicans are on a 10-game winning streak, fourth in the conference, and I thought they were going to fall out. And finally got the Rockets on a 17-game winning streak, who's first. On the flip side to that, the Grizzlies are on a 15-game losing streak.
Yep.
What a fall from grace for those guys.
Wait, what?
The Grizzlies, they're on a 15-game losing
I
streak.
thought you just said they were on a 6-game winning streak at the start.
Did I say Grizzlies or did I say Golden State?
You said Grizzlies.
Did I say Grizzlies? Okay, and then Golden State and Raptors, sorry. But the Grizzlies, on the flip side of that, they're on a 15-game losing streak. So, ultimate fall of grace. Yeah. Let me start with you, Smythe. Which of these teams impress you the most?
New Orleans Pelicans. Now, here's a concern. Cousins goes out. You brought in Mirotic. It's not a patch by any means for a perennial All-Star. The guy starting the All-Star game. Your team is considerably better
without him.
Now, do you think that over the offseason you get rid of Cousins? Because Anthony Davis will not be happy if Cousins does not come back to this team.
Well, he's a free agent. He's probably going to go somewhere big.
Well, you can sign him back. They have the means to get him back. If they don't sign him back, your chances of signing Anthony Davis back go down. But
no, Anthony Davis is long-term. He's there for a while.
Yeah, he's already
for another 3 or 4 years or something like that.
I thought he's got one more before he can opt out.
No.
All right.
Read it up. I'll look it up. But go on.
Okay. But all I'm saying is he's not going to be happy if you don't bring back his other perennial All-Star. But your team is better without him. But now you can technically have Mirotic and Cousins next year and see what you have. But you're committing a lot of money to Cousins, which means you have $80 million in salary committed to 3 players at the end of this season. So everyone else just shoots and plays defense, or doesn't even play defense, and they won't care because you have star-studded team. What do you think, Wells?
I think this is proving your theory wrong of what you guys usually preach.
Which is
whoever has the best players on the team will be good, right?
No, this is the regular season. This is the 82 game test. When it comes down to a 16 team test,
W's to W's. You got to get there. You got to get to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Me personally, I never believed in those two together. I said it was a bad decision from the start, so I never believed in those two together.
But you would think the team would do better with Cousins in the lineup.
This is why we're all surprised, Wells.
Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis signed through 2020-21.
No, he's there for life. All right, well, him and Drew Hall. So you know what? Okay, you sign Cousins. You have your nucleus for your team until 2020, at least
21. Yeah. I don't think you signed Cousins back. I don't think you do. The two big man thing was a cool experiment, but I don't think it works in today's NBA. Like right now, they're going through Anthony Davis, and they're playing well. That's how they're playing. Just get rid of Cousins, get more shooters, try to build better players.
You can
maybe try and trade for another guy.
Yeah,
maybe say John Wall.
But I think if you ask Anthony Davis, he's going to tell you to sign DeMarcus Cousins.
He actually said that. You'll have no problem signing him.
See, so
Anthony Davis back.
I think now you're handicapped.
So they want John Wall, Anthony Davis,
not John
and
Wall.
Cousins.
No.
Did you say John Wall?
No, I said trade for John.
Try maybe
because John Wall's
Wall.
again signed up. I think he's locked up through 2021.
You get like an old Kentucky reading in there,
that's what I'm saying.
Right? Something going on there. But I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm kind of excited. But when the playoffs start, there's not enough talent around your bigs to win a second round series. So life is hard.
Right now they're fourth in the conference. They play the Spurs.
It's a 3-game losing streak and they're out basically.
Yeah. But I personally thought they would fall out without Cousins.
Yep.
And the Jazz would take their spot. Jazz right now are battling with the Clippers, so I think the Jazz are going to get into the playoffs. But of these streak spells, who's impressing you the most? Or were you
Houston.
Sure, right? Houston.
17 games in a row. Yeah. Like I don't know what else to say, man. Who's the worst team in the league right now?
The worst team in the league? It's probably the Grizzlies, and it's the Grizzlies with 18 wins.
So
bottom of the Western Conference.
Just put that in perspective.
Yeah.
They have almost as many wins in this
in
win streak
in a row as they have all season.
You know what I mean? Like that's it's impressive. And it's also like I don't know, man. Like the Grizzlies, what are you doing, man? Should have traded Gasol.
They're bottoming out again. You pay a guy $35 million and he doesn't play.
Yeah, that hurt.
That hurt.
Yeah, in the beginning of the year, a lot of people were kind of skeptical about this 2-point guard system.
Yeah.
I think you were. I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, Smythe.
My words were, "It's not gonna work." My exact words. It's not. And I said, "Chris Paul's a loser, and they're not going anywhere in the playoffs." I am eating my words as it stands right now.
The playoffs haven't started.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you're not eating your words quite yet, because again, these two both. You've always said that Chris Paul doesn't go far in the playoffs at all. I can't remember the furthest he's gone, and that was on the Hornets, I believe.
Yeah.
He's on New Orleans.
The conference finals. He lost the
conference finals, and then clearly Harden. He's always choked. He choked in the finals that one year. Choked last year. So they're yet to be proven.
I mean, you say choked. I say they just didn't win. Like they're not.
Did you think Harden looked the same last year? No, he didn't. He didn't show up.
He played some bad games.
A lot of bad games. He didn't show up last year.
The MVP James Harden's only been 2 seasons. He hasn't been this good. Last year he was this good. This year he's this good. Last year who they play? The Spurs?
Yeah, and he disappeared. He disappeared.
The Spurs know how to contain it. Like
I guess he disappeared.
The Spurs are a great team. Like again, at the second round, if it's as it stands, second round they're going to play the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. That would be a tough series.
If the Pelicans win.
Yeah, I guess so because
the Spurs are Pelicans. If the playoffs start today.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's like they have to prove themselves. Same as the Raptors too. Like Houston and the Raptors, to me at least, those are two teams that have to prove themselves in the playoffs. I don't know if you agree or not, Wells. Because they've shown that
I agree. I agree.
Like
the Raptors are not a good playoff team. Not this core, like this coach core unit. Like, I mean, you can talk about how good DeRozan has been in the regular season. Same with Lowry. They're all stars. But like year after year in these playoffs, they struggle to get through first round series. 2 years ago,
Took them 7 games.
7 games to beat the
6
Pacers,
games, and
7 games to beat the Heat, who were not that good. They were not those good teams, man. And then they lost in 6 to the Cavs, and then last year they took 6 games to beat the Bucks. And then they got swept by the Cavaliers, and there was nothing impressive about what any of them did. It's like they can't hit their shots.
And 3 years ago they lost to the Wizards. No, was it Nets or Wizards? It was
Wizards swept them the first round.
Yeah, it was Wizards because I remember Paul Pierce was on that team.
Yep.
So to me, again, those two teams have to improve. I don't know. Again, we had this conversation before.
Yeah. Well, I'll just give my opinion now that we're here. The last 2 seasons, the Raptors lost to the Cavs, who were outright better than them. They beat everyone else, and they beat a lot of teams. I don't think the Raptors of 2 years ago were head and shoulders better than the Pacers or the Heat. And I don't think the Raptors of last year were head and shoulders better than Milwaukee. They've retooled. They run a new offense. They changed their game plan to mimic great teams. So they play more like Houston. They play more like Golden State, where they're putting up 30 to 43s a game. They're driving to the basket a lot. You had a good point about Golden State not driving the basket, but they go threes and dunks. Threes, dunks. They put up 120 a game. If you can score that much, you can win. That's
more like Houston, because Houston drives to the basket.
Yeah,
that's
so.
They don't put up as many threes as them.
Yeah,
because Houston, I think, makes the most in the league.
They take like.
I think
50.
the Raptors are averaging makes 11.8, I believe.
Yeah, and they don't shoot it well. They shoot a lot, but the Raptors aren't. I don't think they're in top 15 in actual percentage in the league. Mm-hmm. But they put up a lot of shots. They get to the line and they go fast. Anyway, this isn't the same team from years ago. They move the floor more. They're focused on getting points. And I don't think a lot of teams in the East now can score with the Raptors. So the Raptors have an easier time in the playoffs. Now, obviously, that has to come to fruition when the playoffs start. Mm-hmm. But I think they're better tooled to make a better run. Are they better than a LeBron James-led Cleveland Cavaliers? I don't know. And I still worry. When I see certain teams in the East, I'm worried. When I see the Sixers, I worry. Well, Miami, not so much. I don't think they're actually good enough to beat the Raptors. I think we're better than the Bucks outright. But like the Pacers, I worry. The Wizards, I worry.
See, this is Wells' point.
Yeah.
If in the NBA, if you're a top 3 team and you're taking 7 games to beat the lower seeds, you're in trouble. If you're waiting on your bench players to bail you out, because it really should go as Lowry and DeRozan go. If you're waiting for your bench players to bail you out, you're in trouble.
But they had to, in those series where they went 7 games, they were relying on like Biyombo.
Yes.
Like Biyombo made
there's like
his
X
career
factors
off of that playoff.
That came in and he made $64 million on that series.
him and like Norman Powell were like...
Norman Powell made $52 million on that series last year. And, okay, I get it, but...
You're in trouble if you're doing that. No other team relies on their bench players the way that... Because
I mean, it's cool that...
two guys don't show up.
It's cool that guys can... Exactly, it's a good point. It's cool those guys can show up, but it shouldn't be because your stars are not showing up, right? Like, they should be showing up as well as your stars showing up.
Well, here's the thing. Last year and the year before, the Raptors were a 55 in 2017, right? Which is good.
Yeah, they show up in the regular season.
This year, they're 4 games worse than Golden State. This team is elite. We've never seen an elite Raptors team play in the playoffs.
We're not arguing that.
I know. What I'm saying, though, I am personally giving them the benefit of the doubt that they have crossed the line being an elite team, and you guys want to see it first on paper, which is fine. Yeah.
No, I want to see it in the playoffs.
Well,
I want to
see
them go 5 games or less in the first round.
Right. So,
and if they do that, then I'm like, okay, maybe this team is different than the years before. But if they come out and they lose, they never win that first game in the playoff round. Don't. They never do. They have
pressure,
the home.
so much pressure on them. But this year, the Boston Celtics, I don't think they're good enough to get to the finals. And I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are the worst they've been in the last 4 years. So with those 2 factors and Toronto...
Yeah, the time to strike is now.
Exactly. This is their best chance to come out of the East.
Especially in the East, because I believe Boston Celtics next year will be much, much better with Hayward.
For sure.
And the 76ers, are coming.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets, not so much, because I can't really see any other team in the West on the come-up right now that will match them. So they're good for another couple years. Like the Raptors, the East is down now.
Yeah. And here's another thing, too, is like I think the players know that, too.
Yeah.
Like DeRozan, Lowry. And I think that pressure gets to them, man.
Yeah.
If they throw this season away...
They'll still have next season, but there will be more teams now they have to compete with. Like, 76ers will be another year better. Boston will definitely be the best. I think Boston next year will be the best team in the East.
I don't think Gordon Hayward makes much of a difference on this team.
Well, look how they're playing defensively right now. They
They're
have
great.
45 wins right now.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving's the only guy that scores pretty much on there.
Yeah.
Horford's been in and out with injuries.
Yeah.
Now you get Gordon Hayward, a guy who can score, a guy who can defend. So now you got 5 guys on the court who will defend. Not so much Kyrie Irving, but
Horford's older, and Kyrie has the ball less. So I don't know if they're and they're not good offensively already.
But they move the ball.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. They move the ball a lot.
Kyrie scores 35
Yeah.
on a good night. I don't know. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I think though when the playoffs start, I don't think they're as good as the record shows.
No, they won't. I don't think they're gonna make that much noise.
And if they play the Sixers, I think they're out.
No. See? None of those teams. The Bucks, Miami, Detroit, Sixers. They're not moving past first round. They're not moving past first round. Pacers in Washington. That's a toss up to me. But
if John Wall doesn't play, the Pacers might sweep, or the Pacers might get swept. I think Washington's better without him. As good as John Wall.
That could be a debate.
Yeah.
Any other teams? How about Portland? I didn't think Portland was this good.
To be honest, I'm not sure what they're on right now. Like, what magic juice are they drinking? Why are they playing this good? And it's not a knock to Lillard. It's not a knock to McCallum. It's just like, where was it? What is this? Like, remember last year they were scoring out the roof as well, but teams just were beating them. And now it looks like it's like they're here. You know what I mean? Like, they're ready to go. They're going to give a tough series to Golden State in the second round.
And they dropped a lot of their salary because I remember last year they were like top 5 in salary. Now they're like 11th.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I don't know.
Who do they have up the middle?
A center? Are you talking about?
Like their forwards.
Evan Turner.
Is that where Ed Davis is now?
Ed Davis.
Yeah, but he's not playing. What's his Nurkic from Denver and.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, and he's tough to stop. But I didn't think he puts them on the echelon where he's playing right now. But again, like, what if they lose 3 games in a row?
If they lose 3 games in a row, I think they're still in. But yeah, if they lose, they're still in the playoffs though. But it's, again, like you said, it's some magic juice that they're on right now.
Yeah.
Golden State's Golden State. Oh, you were telling me something funny in the car. What else?
Yeah.
About the video clip that you saw.
Yeah, I saw this thing on YouTube, and it was like all like the ejections and like scuffles from like the season so far, and like every other video was Golden State.
Oh, they hate the refs this year.
Well, it's just like getting into like not fights, but like arguments or like
It's so silly.
Scuffles on the court. There was like Durant and Westbrook a few times. Draymond Green and Bradley Beal when Draymond Green's jersey got ripped. There was when Steph Curry threw his mouthpiece at like the ref or something or someone.
They're
like little prima donnas, man.
Yeah, I think they think they're so much better than the rest of the league.
Because they've been told that so many times.
Well, it's not to be told they're playing like that. But
Yeah.
like the playoffs started. Remember the playoffs last year? It's a joke.
And there was one where Durant got tossed out of the game, and like the fans were taunting him, and he was pointing to his ring, like he's got a ring. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, you really earned that one.
In the beginning of the year, I didn't care. I'm like, okay, I see you're right. Now that I look at them, I'm like,
You guys.
it doesn't. Durant winning that ring, it doesn't feel real. It's like you cheated to get that.
Doesn't
ring.
feel real. Doesn't feel right.
Man, we told you that. Like
I know. At first, I was like, because it's his right. Don't get me wrong. It is his right. He can do whatever he wants. Any player in the NBA can do whatever they want. Go to wherever you want. But it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel earned to me. I don't know.
No,
if you
it
feel the
doesn't.
same way. It doesn't.
I don't. Here's my problem. I have is everyone in the NBA is in the top echelon of basketball players in the world. Okay, it's not his fault that he's better than other guys, right? I mean,
No, he is better. I'm not denying that. He's
Yeah.
probably top 3, top 5 player in the league right now.
did I make my analogy that if you were working somewhere, then Google decides to hire you and they call you and to recruit you, do you just turn the job down because
No,
you
don't.
work somewhere else?
No, you don't. You don't.
You go.
You go.
Yeah.
That's what I said. He has the right.
Yeah.
He has the right, but I also have the right not to like it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't feel earned to me. That's all.
And now when someone's like Kevin Durant's not the best player in the league, he can't be like, damn it, I am, because you're like, you made that choice. And we say legacy, right?
I guess.
It shouldn't mean anything, but I guess
guess.
it does because here we are.
But all this ejection, does it bother you though?
No, I don't care. Who cares? Just do what you want. They don't. The regular season, it's a long grind that doesn't matter to great teams. Do you like this from October all the way until the middle of what? April?
Something like that. Yeah.
Doesn't matter to these guys. That is a long time
Yeah.
to be not caring and just beating up on poorer teams.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, remember that game where they coach themselves?
Yeah.
You know? A guy wants to go to the showers early, so he says a couple curse words and gets thrown out of a game. They don't care. And we can't be saying they have to be more professional or to be more whatever. It's a lot of
don't
games. I mean, they should, but if they
like
choose
if you're watching,
to,
you're paying to watch them. Shouldn't they be more?
if they choose to throw their mouthpieces at each other and get thrown at the game, that's like after the game, we see how much they're all super friends in the game.
But if you pay to watch,
It sucks for
Steph
you.
Curry,
It
and
sucks.
he throws a mouthpiece, and now he's kicked out of the game. It's like I came here to watch you, and you're just being
Yeah, you're
quote unquote unprofessional.
yeah, he's a horrible person. But are you never going to go to a game again? Are you going to boycott the league? No. You're going to be like, man, that sucks. Hopefully
go
next
less.
time I
I
go
do
to a
go
better
less.
game.
I do go less.
I haven't been to a game yet this year.
Yeah, I used to go to 4 games a year, and now I've gone to like.
I've gone to one.
I'm
went to
gonna
one last
go in
year.
the playoffs. I said instead of me going to see like, oh, I want to see the Knicks play and whatever, I'm gonna go get the playoff experience.
I'm going to Detroit in like 2 weeks to
Felt
watch them
better.
play there. But
Yeah.
you're going during the playoffs? You're going during the playoffs?
I'm gonna go to 3 or 4 playoff games this year.
Ooh,
If they make it that far.
I guess you're not going to pay your mortgage for that month.
I think it'll be like $200. I'll go sit at the top and drink beers all night. Whatever. I just want to be in the building.
During the playoffs last time,
Come on, you know the Raptors get the day games. They get that Blue
3
Jays treatment.
p.m.
Yeah, I tell you right now, they will play Saturday at like 12:30. Their first game.
oh yeah, they always do.
Not this year.
Yeah, they will, man.
Yes, they will.
Remember when they cried about the Christmas game?
No, but that time slot has nothing to do with how good you are. That time slot has everything to do with
Canada?
the rights holders. Yeah, because us being
Yeah,
Canada.
because they want to put Cleveland
US
versus
teams.
whoever at like 7:00.
Yeah, I'm looking at. They might be Cleveland versus Philly first round. That'll be fun.
I guess. I don't know why everyone likes Philly so much. They're going to lose.
Because they're young and they got nothing to lose.
That's
man.
fine, but they're going to lose. They're not going to beat anybody.
They're
going to
gonna
lose.
We'll see,
Well,
man.
Everyone's like, oh, watch out Philly. No, they're going to lose. They're not good enough yet.
I don't know, man. You get the Cavs in the first round.
All right,
As great as LeBron is,
All right, I
they
want
match up pretty well.
you guys, whoever the Philadelphia Sixers face, I want you to pick them to win. That's serious.
We'll do our picks when the playoffs start, and we'll see what's up.
That was-
We'll see. We'll see what's up.
All right. This year, there's been 12 players who dropped. 12 players, not 12 players. 12 times players have dropped over 50 points this year. Scoring like crazy. I put this out on Twitter, and I'm going to ask you guys, do you think this is the golden age of the NBA? Smythe,
No,
you thinking about it? No?
no.
What does that mean, golden age?
Like, this is the best it's ever been.
No.
It's the best it's ever been with scoring. These quote unquote super teams. I don't like using that word because there's been super teams throughout the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
The most skill, like right now with this whole small ball movement, you're seeing players. If you don't have the skill to play, you can't play. Like in the '90s, if you can push over a guy, and if you basically just push over a guy, quote unquote the Davis brothers on Indiana, and grab a couple rebounds, you're able to start in the NBA. Now, those guys are gone. They can't play because they don't have the skill set enough to keep up with the rest of these guys. So, to me, it just seems like the NBA is this is the best it's been, and maybe it's only going to raise higher and higher. I don't know if you agree, Wells, or not.
Scoring is going up.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah.
But that's what leagues want. The scoring will
Yeah.
always go up.
Except the NHL. But, I don't know. Do you think it's a golden age, Wells? Do you think so? No?
No.
Yay? No?
I don't-
What would you have called the golden age of the NBA?
80s.
80s?
80s. Nah, I think the golden age of the NBA was the 90s.
With only one team?
Yeah. I think when you watch, like, say, for instance, I feel like the NFL and Tom Brady is at the peak of what the NFL is about. Mm-hmm. And so I think the NBA, the peak of what it's about was Michael Jordan trying to win another one. Michael Jordan with another, and there's always some other guy to step up and you got to take down
I would argue. I think the NFL was the golden ages in the 90s. In the NFL.
the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Same thing. Like, you have like
49ers.
you have a final boss. You know what I mean? Like when a league has a final boss and different guys try to take him down, it's interesting to
I
watch.
can't remember. Were the Steelers good in the 90s?
No.
No. Okay.
They were horrible.
Yeah.
Well,
As well as shrugs his shoulders.
Oh, I didn't get into them until late '90s, early 2000s when they
okay.
had Cordell Stewart. That's why I got into it.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm all about final bosses. Golden State right now is like a final boss in the NBA. It's fun to watch.
That's a good way of saying it. I actually like that. I actually like the way you said that. There has to be a final boss in every sport.
Yeah.
Just to kind of sidetrack here with baseball.
That's what we're all about.
Oh, no.
No.
We're all about it.
The Jays signed the Korean guy, Sung Hwan Oh.
First of all,
His nickname, the final boss.
nice.
Really?
Yeah. He was a closer for St. Louis. He's not the closer for the Jays,
No,
but
obviously.
that's a pretty good nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a sick nickname. Yeah, I think that's when I think you remember the most leagues for those eras, where one guy was just always there and other people try to take him down.
Oh, isn't that Golden State right now?
I was just thinking that. No, is it the best? No, because the '90s. It's not the best era
90s.
ever.
You like
We're
90s?
in a great era in the NBA though, which is why you brought the question up.
Yeah.
I do under
Anything
yeah.
in the 90s were just slightly or better or just whatever.
Oh, because he was just there way more.
Yeah.
He owned it, and there was a lot of teams trying to take him down. And then when he left, there was another team became the final boss. Then he
Actually,
came
there was
back
two
and
teams.
took that
When
back.
he left, there was two teams.
Houston.
And oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're talking that 2 year gap. Yeah, sorry. I
And
thought you were
then-
talking after.
Yeah, and then the
Like,
final
when it
boss.
was
Then he
like
came
this
back, and it
was-
was like, oh snap, he's back, and he just went back to being the best.
final boss.
That was a good era.
A couple other things like rose in the NBA. DeRozan, a couple weeks ago, saying that he battles depression, and then through inspiration of that, Kevin Love came out and said he deals with panic attacks. Not really much to say about this, but it's just excellent.
Did you not feel bad for Kevin Love?
Not really, because the only reason I didn't feel bad at Kevin Love because we didn't hear it until he actually said it.
Yeah,
So because he said he told his teammates,
Yeah.
and nobody said anything.
yeah.
Nobody said anything.
That's why they traded that team away.
Yeah.
That's how apart they were. The guy tells you he's dealing with something, and you're like, "So we got to win these games." Like, come on, bro.
Well, apparently there's like 2 games where he just like ran back into the locker room. He's doing panic, and then DeRozan here speaking up about his depression. A couple years ago, these players would have been looked at as soft,
Yeah, you couldn't say that a couple
couldn't
years.
say that.
Not at all.
and now it's. Thank God you're coming out and saying these things. Like we have to deal with it, and
Yeah, I sent out a tweet. I gave DeRozan a shout out, and I was like, "You have no idea how many people you inspire with that."
oh yeah,
And then Kevin Love came out a couple of days later, and I was like, "Look at that! Look!" So, I think it's an important moment in sports. I also didn't see that coming because DeRozan's playing the best basketball of his career, starting in the All-Star game. Every reason to be over the moon, and here he is saying he has tough times. You know,
yeah.
so
Inspired many a people. Which also brings me up to another thing.
can I just go into Kevin Love first, though?
Yeah, go ahead. You want to say something about Kevin Love?
Well, if you think of the last couple of years, we kept talking about Kevin Love is the worst guy, needs to get traded, whatever.
I never said that.
Like, if you hear that every single day, that's going to get to you, man. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, when he said it, I was like, yeah. There's probably times you have panic attacks because this team is great, and you're a piece of the reason why they're great, and all you get is the trash.
Oh, same with Chris Bosh, right?
Yeah.
It was that third
Well,
wheel, and he always
Chris Bosh had quit basketball.
Yeah.
It's hard to go through that.
You want to say anything on this, Wells? Or
No, I don't know what else you can say,
Yeah.
really, right? Like,
I'm
it must be tough for like an athlete who, you know, making all that money and so good at a sport, and to come out and, you know, you look at a league with a bunch of men, right?
Yeah.
And to say you have a weakness, takes a lot of balls. Mental disorders are tough to deal with, man. Like, so it takes a lot of courage to do that, and good for him for doing that, and probably put a bit of weight off his shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. Like for this podcast, for
But,
instance.
but then you know what's going to happen if they choke in the playoffs.
Oh, yes.
man.
So
We can't even talk about it now because he said he doesn't deal with it well. Anyway, what I was saying is when we have bad episodes with this podcast, I'm sure everyone just blames me. Smythe messed up. He's horrible.
No, we usually
No,
blame
I actually put it
Nash.
on myself.
Yeah,
I actually
we
put it on
blame
myself.
Nash when he always messes up. When he messes up the intro.
If you guys don't mess up, it's Nash.
Yeah, it's Nash. Oh yeah, he messed up the intro again. Oh, look, another name of a segment that he messed up on.
See, man? Yeah, that horrible segment name he made up. I'm saying it must be hard, man. Must be hard.
A slight pivot on that, like the place of athletes in today's society. Do you like that they're speaking up now? Like, especially in the NBA. You don't really get that in other sports. I don't know
That's
if
not true. That's not true at all.
Well, go
The
on.
Players Tribune, which is what
Yeah, they allow players to.
it's cool to get insight every now and then,
Yeah.
right? I know
The players, go on.
not just basketball, but like
Yeah.
baseball, hockey. It's cool to hear their side of their stories sometimes. You know, pull the curtain back a bit.
Yeah, the Players Tribune I have a little bit of beef with because a lot of it is ghostwriting. It's not just
Totally.
them writing. It's
yeah.
most of the time it's not them writing it.
It probably
Of
isn't
course,
them
no.
writing, but it's their story.
Yeah,
Written by a writer who they paid to write it.
Yeah.
They're rich.
but would you have liked to see this more in like say baseball or hockey, where there's more outspoken on the mic though, Wells? Or would you more comfortable? Because it's fine. Some people are like, I just want to see you play. I don't really care.
Yeah,
about the
there's
politics.
a little column A, a little column B. Like,
Yeah.
you know, most of these athletes who are super athletes are. I just want to watch them play, man. That's
Yeah.
what we're invested in. That's the entertainment value I get out of it. But they're also human beings too. Right?
Oh yeah.
And like I said, with the whole DeRozan incident, it may have lifted a lot of weight off his shoulders. So maybe he's a different person playing the game now because he's got that off his back.
I don't know. Here's like in the NFL, they did it, and people were in an uproar.
Oh, do you hear what the Dolphins and Texans said?
No,
Their players will stand.
see,
Yeah, like they've completely
They're done with
flipped it.
that.
It's like no, my players will stand for the anthem.
all they had to do is write a rule. You want to play in this league, you stand for the anthem, and that's it. It went over. Anyway, but so the NFL very outspoken this year. Malcolm Jenkins, the Philadelphia Eagles as a whole, actually, were very and people hated it. LeBron James steps up and starts talking about the press, and a lot of people that I know say, you know, an athlete shouldn't be talking about politics. But I'm just like, who is the most influential person available?
Yeah, Wilson's.
He is the number one most influential person. He should talk politics so people care. If LeBron James doesn't speak about politics, hundreds of millions of people will not care about politics.
Well, it's not just care, since he's also speaking for, because he's from impoverished.
That's what they say. He came
beginnings,
from nothing.
and so he's speaking up for not just himself, but a large group of people.
I don't think he represents poor people anymore. He can't.
No, he does. I think he does.
I don't think he has that. No.
Well, he's rich, but I think he's trying
He's
to.
rich, but
Because obviously he has a scholarship program. He's trying to bring these people up. Like he's speaking for, maybe not the entirety of poverty, but a small section. It's like I came from here. I still know these people.
yeah,
I'm
I
speaking up for
understand it more so than I get it. But like it bothers me when you tell someone they can't talk about something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what makes a news reporter or whatever like qualified to talk about politics?
them. Fox News.
Is there studying politics? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Do you think if LeBron James
Yes, it is a thing.
if LeBron James runs for governor, president, whatever, do you think he'd lose?
Well, it depends. But yeah,
Serious question.
I see your point. Yeah, I see your point.
Okay, politics, people that get elected. LeBron James is most likely elected for anything he runs for. His opinion on politics is probably more important than 90% of politicians. Not because he knows about politics, but because people will support him. You should be calling LeBron James regularly and saying, hey, you should shout me out at your game or something. This is opportunity. It's not something where you tell a guy to be quiet or be silent. Sure, this isn't your
Shut up
lane.
and dribble?
Yeah, well, shut up and dribble is stupid. When I heard it was stupid, the fact that the NBA players like latched onto it
She
was
was trolling. Yeah, she was
stupid.
trolling.
And I don't know.
Yeah. You got Kobe Bryant mentioning on his Oscar speech, was pretty cool. And
Right?
then again,
But it's-
Charles Barkley and
Yeah.
SNL.
It's not something that they all grip onto, but like I don't know. I feel like people can't. There's no lane for politics.
Agreed. Let's transition to some a little bit more fun. Excuse me. So we got top five.
Finally,
Top five. And this week's top five is Smythe. So take it away, Smythe.
All right.
The mic is now yours.
yo, don't look.
I'm not looking.
Don't look. IGN released the top 100 video games of all time. So my top 5 has been inspired by that. I'm
Top
going
five
to
video
give
games
you
of all time?
guys
Top five video games of all
no. The top 5 video game launches of all time.
launches.
Hype going into video games.
Interesting.
How do you
All right,
feel
let's
about
see where this goes.
How do you feel about this, Wells?
Go for it.
All right.
I can't wait to debate this.
Number 5, very easy. The Nintendo Switch launched with the newest title, Zelda, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Comes out, sells 3 million copies, and I think it was his first month. More copies of the game were sold in the actual system itself. It's been considered one of the best video games of all time.
How is that possible?
I know. Over 100 hours of play. The buzz behind it, because it was a whole new system, was out of this world. Everyone who bought a copy, or Nintendo Switch, bought a copy of Legend of Zelda, and people talked about different stunts and tricks. You can do it for months and months and months.
Now I'm gonna ask you on all these games. Did you get it?
Yeah.
And
It's a great game. I liked it. It reminded me, though, of what the kids of today are like now. So...
in what way?
the game is like a grind. You run around, you grab a stick, you got a stick breaks, go get something else, and it's like every enemy super hard. You collect 900 seeds, and there's so much going on in the game that you just don't. The essence of the actual video game gets kind of lost in all the different things. At the end of the day, it's a Zelda game. There's 4 dungeons instead of the regular 8. Right?
Yeah.
You run around and you're riding a horse and running back and forth for hours and hours on end. You're learning to climb mountains, mountain climbing super hard. You waste hours and hours and hours doing basic things. And the actual, as the game itself, probably completed in 7 to 8 hours. But I probably put 35 to 40 hours into it. So
I will say this. A lot of people were talking about this. Whether they got it or not, people were, did you get the new Zelda? I was like, oh, what's it like? And blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people, even who non-gamers, were talking about this.
Yeah. Fantastic, crazy game. Number 4 on the list, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The original Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the absolute game changer in regards to the first-person shooter. Mm-hmm. So FPS games were redefined. People were playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare for hours and hours and hours. And with the launch of the second game, because Call of Duty goes in between different games, if you guys don't know. Yeah. So they went back to old school World War II. No one cared. Modern Warfare 2 came out. The buzz for this game, absolutely incredible. The midnight launch saw millions of people grab this game, head right on home, and start playing right away. It introduced a lot of different things. I'm not sure if you guys know anything about the special things put on your kit where you can like breathe extra hard or do whatever. There were a whole bunch of different things in there. Kimble guns. People love this game. Till this day, people consider it their favorite Call of Duty experience.
How many hours did you waste playing this? Not you. Wells.
A lot. Modern Warfare 2? No, I played a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right? And just the lights out game. Map packs came out. I think they did 4 different expansion packs with this. This is the one game that the whole cycle went through. The new game came out. People got sad, kept playing Modern Warfare 2.
All right.
Number 3, Halo 2. The first Halo obviously launched the original Xbox.
Huge.
Right. Fantastic game.
Huge.
Halo 2 had a midnight launch. Millions of people got home to play Halo online for the very first time. This game kept the original Xbox alive for I don't know how long after its actual play style was done.
Was this when they introduced the dual wielding?
Yep. You had dual building. First time you played online, Team Red versus Team Blue consistently. It brought in the greatest ranking system of all time. If you win, your number went up. If you lost, your number went down. They had 8 or 9 different ways to play Halo online. Great maps, 8v8s, 4v4, 6v6. Easily 100 hours spent on it.
Easily. We had parties with this thing.
Halo party. So. I mean, just fantastic. And I'm not sure how many copies it sold, but basically the Xbox 360 launched, and people still played their Xbox. Eventually, they had to port Halo 2 to the 360 because they needed to sell more 360s at the end of the day. Number 2, Mortal Kombat 2. The first Mortal Kombat back, right? The first Mortal Kombat was a great game, but the second Mortal Kombat launched. Nothing can prepare you. The game went from I think,
I thought number 3 would have been ahead of number 2.
Number 3 was okay, but that
when did they introduce the cyborgs?
The cyborgs were 3, but 2 had the female. 2 had the female ninjas, babalities, friendships, the pits, the spikes at the top of the roof. 16 characters at launch. I think it went eventually to 24 characters and tournaments galore. It was an absolute
Did they take out Liu Kang in that one? Or they took him out?
Liu Kang died in 3. He was not in Mortal Kombat 3.
4. Or he was not in the Mortal Kombat.
He wasn't 3, and then he came back in 5 and died. It was But Mortal Kombat 2, there was arcades that had just 16 of these machines side by side because people were playing so crazy. The Living 4, it was just incredible. Then they made it 2 movies. Huge buzz. Number one, I don't think anyone will ever doubt Super Mario 3.
You shake your head, Wells. Why? Anyway, go
say
on.
it, say it.
Super Mario 3 launched on the back of a movie called The Wiz. A game where a kid was a wizard video game player.
That was Super Mario 3?
That was Super
Yeah.
Mario 3.
Oh,
And they
yes.
played that in the
It
game
was a
before it came
tournament.
out.
The entire world had to get their hands on
That's when they
this
released it.
game.
I remember that movie so
This,
much. It was like,
so this game was released to so much buzz and so much hype. People went home and they played this game through for hours and hours and hours. They finished the game. They got those 100 extra P-Wings. They played it again and again, looking for little holes, loopholes, ways, coin boats. There's so much things to do in this video game. This launched what Mario is today. So every Mario now is 8 different worlds, different ways, different mechanics every single time. And I think
I think you're downplaying the rush of release because back in the day we didn't have that internet. Like they could never release that video game this way again. So the first time we saw this video game was at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Because even the characters in the movie were like, Super Mario 3, what is that? And then we didn't know what Super Mario 3 was because we never saw it. And then that's when they released it. And that was the hype. And when every kid went home, they wanted that game.
For Christmas, if that was not in a box, your kid was crying. That was the greatest launch I've ever seen in my life. And that is a top 5 video game launches of all time.
But you were shaking your head, Wells. Why?
Where's GTA 5?
There was
How is GTA 5 not on there?
I don't think that was as big as Breath of the Wild.
I think you're right.
No,
It might
GTA 5.
How
That
high
was
would it
on
have been
there.
for you?
That took like a year of like ads and like hype
yeah.
for that. I'm surprised it's not on your list.
What was the launch?
What do you
What was the
that?
memorable part of that launch?
The fact that it came out, man.
We were waiting for
it was the
at least 2
first.
years
It was the first GTA for like a next gen system,
Yeah.
and
Remember
that was
that-
at the end of like
Yeah, it
PS3, Xbox 360,
But GTA 4 was like a failure.
that's GTA 5 was amazing, man,
It was a good game,
and people still play it.
but was the hype for the game?
Oh, yeah. We
That-
were wait-
was
dude,
that-
remember,
are
we
you
were waiting
kidding
for
me?
like 2 years for that movie.
Was
for
that
game to
was
come out.
that launch like? where would you replace? What would you replace?
I would take out the Nintendo.
So you got Super Mario 3, Halo 2.
I would have taken out Link. I would have taken
Legend
out,
of Zelda.
Yeah, I never got into Halo, so I'm a little biased. And maybe
Mortal Kombat
Mario.
was good. Mortal Kombat was good. I can't remember the hype around Mortal Kombat 3. Maybe it wasn't that big.
I thought Mortal Kombat 3 was bigger.
Really? I can't remember that. It was a
I remember
way better game.
I remember I used to play that at the Self-Common arcade,
Yeah.
like religiously.
It was way cleaner. Was that the same time Killer Instinct came out?
Yeah,
Or
around
was,
that.
Killer Instinct before it?
I think-
Combo.
yeah, I think Clear Instinct was before that. That
Yes,
was
because they introduced combos. Because yeah. It was okay, Les. It was an okay. It was okay, Les.
It's okay.
dope list.
It was okay.
That's like number 1 for me.
That's all that matters.
hey, it's your top 5. Man. Can't dispute it. Moving on to the NCAA. So
The segment.
hard right. Skirt. Sean Miller of the Arizona Wildcats. This story's been bubbling up for quite a while. So the FBI says they have him on tape saying that he would exchange money between him and Christian Dawkins. He came out, I think it was last Thursday, basically denying the whole thing. Now, a lot of people have beef that it took him 5 days to actually deny the allegations. But he basically denied the whole thing. If you actually listen to the interview, it's about 4 minutes long. A lot of it is the small things in his language where I have no knowledge of exchanging money, knowingly exchanging money with this player. There's certain things like there's kind of wiggle room if it comes back to him later. Bottom line is, do you believe him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the ESPN report, they're the ones who first broke it.
Yep.
That they had wiretaps. And
Had the FBI
ESPN, when they published their story, they did a lot of boo-boos. So they screwed themselves. Because they kept getting the dates wrong of when this interview took place. Mm-hmm. Or when these... so they had like one date, and then they said this guy was committed, but the date they gave, he was already committed.
Yep.
Like, it's really fishy. That's why he missed one game. This is like the whole pitchfork thing mentality, where he missed one game because that's when they didn't know, like they kind of didn't know for sure if he did. And then when ESPN had the contradicting dates, he came back.
Yeah.
So they screwed up the report. So who do you believe, right? That's what it comes down to.
I mean, the question was, do you believe that he took money?
No, do you believe do you believe he set it up, or do you believe he's playing players? That's Sean Miller, the coach of the Arizona.
I don't know, man. Because if he did, if he did, then everyone did.
Everyone's doing it. It's tough.
Oh yeah, I'm just.
He just got cut.
What do you want from these guys?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, what do you think these kids are saying when you're recruiting these kids? What do you think they're saying? Do you think these kids are like, yeah, I'll sign and come play for your school to get my education? Mm-hmm. No, they're saying, what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah, I'm watching.
Here's what I heard. Here's what this guy got. Here's what that guy got. What are you going to give me?
Yeah.
Right? Like Kentucky, I don't know how they're doing it, but.
Yeah.
And then there was backlash to this. Shaq's son backed out of his agreement to go to Arizona.
Yep.
And went to UCLA instead.
Yep. So, I don't know. In today's NCAA, it's like if a coach or a program saying, yeah, they got caught paying players, I'm like, of course they were. Who's not paying players?
Yeah.
I think because the FBI said, well, because what now people want to hear the tape that the FBI says, and they're saying, no, we don't have to give anyone because no one's formally charged. I think the FBI is building up a huge case, and it will be a bomb dropped pretty soon.
What are they going to do then?
They're probably going to show a lot of schools. And they probably have evidence for a lot of schools.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah. They're probably going to show that a lot of schools are doing that.
Are they going to shut NCAA down?
Yeah, right.
Well, if it comes to, well, you tell me, Smythe. If what, 15 schools, 20 schools, whatever number you want to put on it, if all of a sudden they came out and said, yeah, these schools are paying, well, what would you say?
Just pay them already, man.
Well, to be honest, I think the NCAA has one chance to right the ship. They're going to start losing on the top players. I think they got to start saying, hey, our kids will make $30,000, $40,000 a year. It doesn't have to be a lot of money.
Do you know how much?
It has to be more than nothing.
Do you know how much money the NCAA is getting?
Yeah.
For the Final Four, like the tournament?
Billions.
Yeah.
Oh, no, so it's a billion. I don't know how much.
$880 million this year. And it goes up next year and the year after.
Is that through TV? Is that this TV contract?
That's TBS or whatever. Yeah, TBS and I believe it's CBS.
Yeah.
Here's my
$880 million for just that tournament.
Yeah.
Can
and
you
they're not
imagine?
paying their workers.
Yeah. What if the NBA wins their pursuit for 1% of Vegas betting? What do you think the NCAA will ask for? What do you think the NFL will ask for?
Yeah.
So,
that's just the get the
Well, I
ball
don't know if
rolling.
they're. I don't know if they're actually.
the king caboodle is.
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually going to do that.
I
NBA. Yeah, I don't know if Vegas is actually going to give it to them.
Well, here's all I'm saying is if that then every league will go for it. Then you can pay anyone you want because 1% of a gajillion dollars is still a lot of money.
Well, the future of betting is they want in-house. Like if you're sitting watching a game, you can basically bet
At your couch.
play to play.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They basically you're sitting there is okay, what's the next play happens.
Run or
it's
pass.
Okay, they're running it back. It's what's the next goal going to happen? Is it going to be a 3-pointer or a dunk or?
If this happens where NBA gets 1% of all the betting,
It'll be an app.
well, they're going to start pushing it.
Oh yeah.
Because there's just more money for them, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 1% of $1 billion. It's
Yeah, so 1% of
a lot of
infinite
money.
is infinite as long. And every league will do it, and Vegas will lose 6% of what they take, but the promotion for gambling will go up through the roof.
Oh,
and
gambling will just increase.
NBA.com will just put your credit card on, and you can bid 50 cents per shot or whatever.
But yeah, going back to the NCAA, like you said, well, just pay the players. I don't know if it's that easy. Just pay them because how would you pay them? Do you just
5-star recruits get 50, 4-star recruits get 40.
No,
and
they shouldn't have tiers. It's not fair.
Yes, it is. Why?
No, it's not, man.
Why?
That's not how it should work.
Why?
Everyone should get a flat wage.
Are you saying that? Wait, are you saying everybody from lacrosse players to basketball players, or are you just saying?
Well, okay, look, and obviously basketball and football make a lot more money than lacrosse and.
So now you're already deviating from the plan. Keep going.
You didn't say anything.
No, I'm saying
You
there's so
didn't
much.
say anything.
These schools make so much money.
Yeah.
Especially the bigger schools, right? They have so much money. It's got to happen eventually because now you're getting these like that FBI wiretap thing is going to expose a lot of things, right? So if they can just avoid that,
That's what I said. You break the bank tomorrow if you're NCAA.
They're not going to do it.
Every team's salary is $1 million. Spend it how you want.
They're
Who
not,
cares?
they're not paying kids $1 million.
No.
So,
Yeah,
so you're just basically saying just pay everyone the same wage.
it's something.
Yeah.
It's a start.
I am more along the lines of your thinking, Wells. But the players get to keep the rights to their likeness. Imagine that. You go to college, you don't have the rights to your own self.
Well,
That's what's going on right now.
That's why the video games don't come out anymore, right?
Yeah, because, well, the lawsuit at O'Bannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ed.
Well, what's your solution, though, Smythe? What were you saying? Just
The better the recruit, the more money they make. You have a budget for the team, just like the professionals. And if your kid's lucky to be there, he makes less. And if your kid's going to the league after 1 year, he makes more. It just makes sense.
So what do you pay the lacrosse players?
Huh?
What do you pay the lacrosse players? What do you pay the baseball players?
Do you get set different salaries based on how much money they make? Like, different leagues are different. The lacrosse league won't make the same money as the NCAA, like football and basketball, obviously, right? But those kids, if they draw something, they should get something.
Now, currently, the way the system is set up is these football players' programs and basketball programs, they are paying for the, not using a nice term, but the welfare sports.
Yeah.
They're the reason that these guys can play around. So and if in your situation, the way you have it set up, those sports are gone. A lot of these sports are gone
Why are they gone?
because they can't afford to pay these guys. Because if they have to pay the basketball program, the football program,
That's
now they're taking money out of the coffers.
That
and
is
now
that's $4 million per school to pay those players to fill those seats. They make that back in one game. Their money they'll make a lot of money.
So what about? And this is the bigger question. What about like the mid-tier schools, like Wichita State, or
no
like
programs. Yeah, they won't get any.
how are they going to afford it?
If they can't afford it, it's a different
Like
concept.
Butler, like how are they going to afford it?
Do they not? They don't bring in $4 million.
No,
I don't know. I mean, that's a huge.
I don't think paying these kids breaks the bank for any school.
Yeah, it will.
If you're a Division I school, you have the money to pay these players.
Not all Division I schools.
Not all.
Because a lot of times they're getting the money because they're not. Like, everyone's sharing the money because of the huge TV contracts. Now, if you're paying,
Then
if
the
you're setting
TV
up tiers
contract
for
pays
players,
the money.
No, if you're setting up tiers now for players, more players are going to take the money. That means less money for the lesser players who are going to the lesser schools.
Well, no,
And a lot of these programs will fold up.
I don't think you do it like that because that's not how equilibrium works. I think your top tier players at every school make the same. So say 50,000 is your top tier, okay? So the top player at Wichita State makes $50K. The top player at Kentucky makes $50K. So a top player, say a player that's like say a 4-star caliber player would say, you know what? Let me go to the lesser school. That way I get more money. Then you'd have more distribution. So you don't get 4 top NBA prospects playing at one school.
Yeah, not all schools are making the same money because remember these guys have TV. These separate schools have TV contracts now.
I don't just give them all the
Like
same money.
other conferences have separate TV contracts and stuff like that. Like a lot of programs will fold up. A lot of sports will be going away from these. Now with a flat rate system where you're paying everybody the same amount of money and you own your likeness, you'll be able to. More schools will be able to stick around and more athletes will have.
I think every D1 school has $5 million for their athletes. Is your
That's
Division
not a lot
one?
of money. That's not a lot of money.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think you can afford it. Between all your athletes, $5 million. How many athletes do you think you have? Student
How much are you
athletes?
going to pay the coach now?
Whatever the hell he makes. Don't change what the coach makes.
All right.
Why would you change? And what does the coach make? $6-7 million?
Depends.
The top guys do.
Right.
I can't remember how Krzyzewski makes. An idea I had. Would you be interested in a draft for college? Wells? Let's say, for example,
It would eliminate the whole. Well,
certain schools you only have.
how does that work though?
So you only have a certain amount of scholarships to give out. And once your scholarship's done, like say you had 2 scholarships.
But like, how do you
3
determine who gets the first pick?
that I don't know. Yeah, because
well, maybe you should have thought that one.
Yeah, because hockey.
Maybe you should have thought that one before you.
Your hockey
idea is debunked.
Wait, hockey does it. Hockey does do that. They have a draft for not college. For does it have for college?
No. People commit.
People commit to colleges.
Yeah.
You have draft for like OHL, but that's different.
Yeah, you recruit for college, but if you have a draft in the NCAA, you have to be based on like
Well,
you physically live.
No, it's only certain like you're only allowed a certain amount of scholarships, right?
Yeah, but
That's basically it.
It would be like you have to draft out of all the Florida kids. So the Florida schools only draft kids in Florida, and everyone have to play like where they're located.
That was another thing. That was another thing I heard too.
Oh.
If you only, it's not necessarily part of my idea, but it's like if you're a part of a certain area, you should only go to that school.
Yeah, and then now it's possible to have a draft because you can have NCAA players look at these kids and put together teams based on. People be a lot like they'd be locked closer or linked closer to their communities.
Yeah.
It would be a good thing, but it's a lot of money in the wash, right?
Yeah. Now Adam Silver is looking at
Ruining the NCAA.
getting rid of that age limit that you have to come in, because basically it's just an age limit. You have to be a certain age to come to the NBA. So they go to now he's looking to lowering that age, and they get drafted to the G League, which I always thought would have been a better idea.
All they have to do is have the G League doesn't have the same limits to get drafted in the NBA, but you can play in the G League if you're good enough. So then all of a sudden you get talent in the G League. Kids don't go to college; they play in this G League, and they get drafted from the G League to the NBA. And the NBA talent started to be developed, drop down in G League too.
My idea is, I don't know if you guys like this, but when you draft, they have to go to the G League.
Right.
And they're in the G League for a year or two.
But what if they're good enough to play in the NBA?
What if they're LeBron James?
Well, this is the same thing right now, right? What if you're good enough not to go to college? You have to go to college. No, you don't have to go to college, but you have to wait
Yeah.
to go to the NBA. So if it's the same thing, you're also building up your G League product.
Yeah.
Because now if these top guys are down there, you're also building up that product. It can be for a year.
But
or
you know
two.
what? That also takes jobs away from other guys who are trying to compete in the G League, right? Trying to make the NBA
Well, it's
roster.
already happening now. Like, you draft two guys have to leave. That's how it works in the NBA
but
right now.
but you're saying now,
You have high school kids that are going to play in the NBA.
yeah, you're that's another 60 players or whatever, right?
Well,
Like,
the concept though is you have these players in the G League right now that aren't good enough to play in the NBA, right? Why are they there?
well, it's not. Sometimes it might not be good enough to play in the NBA, but there's like roadblocks in the way, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like there's better players on your team.
No, I know, but like you want these guys to not sit on the end of the bench. You want them to develop their skills, right?
Yeah, but that's fine. They still play on the G League team, but every G League team has players that are not NBA caliber.
Sure,
okay?
sure.
Those players should be 18, 19 years old. They shouldn't be a guy that's 27, 28, still trying to get his way into the league, and he's not making it. That guy needs to go play in Europe, right?
Well, essentially, what my idea is basically what baseball does, right? There's minor leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You come
Yeah.
into the minor leagues, you take your job. It's like you're building up the NBA product, again, the G League, and you only get college guys that want to go to college. Because if you're not good enough out of high school to get into the G League, then they go to college. And then from there, you can make a rule. It's like, if you're coming to college, you have to stay for 2-3 years.
And then no one will go. You know that already.
But if you can't get in the G League, that's your only other
Yeah,
opportunity.
so
So you're only going to get guys that want to be quote unquote committed, and only the better players are going to come to the G
so
League.
the NBA is going to take the G League is going to take the top high school talent.
Two guys,
to go
same,
to the
same
league.
draft. Yeah, same draft. It's like two guys you get to draft.
Yeah, to go to the league, and then
And maybe
everyone else.
you put a number on high school number. Maybe you put a limit on high school players. Like you can only draft, I don't know, 10 maybe, I don't know, or maybe the first round you can only draft
Right.
a high school player, and then the rest has to be out of college.
What I don't
know.
understand is why is it that players have to declare for the draft and leave college?
That's
It's the
another problem.
stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Steve Kerr said the same thing. If he doesn't get drafted,
Go back to
bring him
college.
Yeah,
I don't
bring him back.
understand where they thought it was a good idea to tell these kids.
I think I'm not sure where the rule came from. I don't know if you know it, Wells, but I think it's to deter players from actually drafting. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
It actually drives me insane.
If you don't get drafted, just come back to the league.
Just go back to go back to school. Go get your education.
Yeah. Try again for another year. I don't. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Smythe. I don't understand that rule. So the NFL Combine's going on. Normally, I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but one guy that stood out to me is Shaquem Griffin. What position did he play? Wells?
Defensive end.
Defensive end. Only has one hand.
Oh,
It was amputated as a kid. I think he had a birth defect or something. This guy's just blowing away at the combine. Super quick. Can bench
Super
press,
strong.
Super strong. Can bench press. Yeah. Reminded me of Jim Abbott. Remember that picture, Smythe?
Jim Abbott.
You don't remember that picture? Who did he play for? Was?
Played for the Angels. Played for Chicago White Sox.
Yeah. He only had one hand.
Threw a no hitter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. And he threw his glove on his other hand when he threw the ball.
Yeah. It's crazy. What I've seen is this kid Shaquem Griffin. He should be drafted. But knowing NFL circles, most of the time they're scared. They're scared of what you can't do rather than focusing on what you can do. Because if someone drafts him and it doesn't work out, what are people going to say? You wasted that draft pick. You're a fool. You're stupid.
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't be looking at it that way. If the kid can play, the kid can play. I just wanted to bring it up because it's just...
Well, you know what? NFL also doesn't like sideshows as well, right? Look what happened with Michael Sam.
The gay guy.
Well, apparently he wasn't good enough to play. But.
That's what you said. You said he was.
The guy was the defensive player of the year in his conference. In the
In
SEC.
In the SEC. Yeah,
which
it's
is
the SEC.
which is the best conference in football.
Apparently he was small and he was getting outworked in practice. So,
Oh man, I just think he was too much of a sideshow for.
okay.
Well, they don't like it, Johnny Manziel.
I've never actually watched him play, but what I read and heard, he wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
He just wasn't good
The
enough.
guy was
got
the
the field.
SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
That doesn't mean anything. How
How,
many
how does that not mean anything?
How many does it
the
mean anything?
SEC
how many
is
Heisman,
the.
how many Heisman Trophy winners have won the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
just
but
because you're good in college doesn't mean you're gonna be good at the next level.
But you should have a
doesn't mean
chance,
anything.
though.
But like, what? I don't understand why he wouldn't get a chance.
I would have
Apparently he
taken.
did. He was getting outworked. Apparently he did, but he was getting outworked.
Apparently is the key word here. Now,
Yeah,
how about Saquon Barkley? Have you heard of this kid?
No.
This running
Are you
back?
not heard?
Oh man,
How have you not heard of this guy?
This guy's had the best combine. I'm gonna say ever.
He'll be.
I never paid attention.
He'll be the first running back taken since 1995. His first overall pick.
Yes, I have heard about Saquon Barkley.
Oh, now you've heard
Yeah,
about
yes,
him.
now. Now,
He-
the debate is whether he should be picked number one or not.
He will
He
be.
don't- 'cause
He
you don't
should
win.
be.
He should be, but a lot of people are saying you don't waste number one picks on running backs nowadays.
Well, when you're this good, they should.
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off, Smythe.
Oh, this kid's a monster. That's all
Yeah.
I was saying. This kid went to the combine and made himself millions of dollars. And people say what you want about
he
the
was gonna
combine.
get paid regardless.
He
man.
wa- but
I don't know if you ever
like
watched any of his highlights.
Yeah,
this
he's
year.
yeah,
he's a beast.
he was
He's a
he
beast.
was insane. He was insane. But
He took Penn State on his shoulders.
yeah,
this year.
well, he was Penn State. There's nothing else going on there. There wasn't at the end of the day, right? Well, whatever. But apparently, this combine, the number one pick, they're saying now, he was not the number one pick going into this combine.
Yeah, I've heard. the
there was
debate.
talk of him being a one pick,
Right.
but like I think the Browns need to do something drastically different this year and not get
not
a quarterback.
get a quarterback.
I mean, they have the fourth pick as well, so they're in a great spot.
Yeah,
but
they probably should draft him.
They should take him first because he won't be available
At four.
At four,
No way.
no shot.
Now, drafting a running back without a quarterback, is that smart though, Will?
They have a quarterback.
Who?
Who?
Kaiser, man.
Sorry, say that again. I didn't hear you.
I'm not saying it.
When they traded, when Washington traded, we already talked about this a couple weeks ago. When they traded for Alex Smith, that meant Kirk Cousins is a free agent, right?
Yes.
So next week is when the free agency happens. I still stand by. They should
Go after Kirk.
just
Pony up
fork out
with
as
Kirk
much as you
Cousins?
can for Kirk
See,
Cousins.
that's
Yeah.
the problem with. Me personally, I don't like giving players a lot of money, and especially in the NFL because it doesn't work out.
But they have so much money. They have like $110 million in
Yeah,
cap
but how are you
space.
going to build a team now? So you're going to draft a running back. Who's
Yes.
excellent.
You're gonna buy
have
a quarterback.
You're going to buy a quarterback,
And they're going to draft.
and
And they might even
Top-
trade.
like-
And they might even trade for Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
I heard today. So
and you're going to draft the pass
you
rusher.
have a receiver. And how's their offensive line? I wasn't paying attention.
it's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, Joe Thomas is there, right? He missed
Yeah.
like all last season, but their offensive line's okay.
Mr.
They just don't have the
10
talent.
steps.
They never had the talent. So now here's your chance to get a franchise quarterback, a franchise running back. Like the best running back we'll probably see in 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what the hype is. How do you pass that up?
You know what's funny? Wells is a diehard Steelers fan, but I feel like you root for the Browns secretly.
Look, everyone roots for the Browns secretly.
You know what? You know why Cartonians? There's a lot of because that was pretty much the only game we can watch.
It's a 5-hour
in
drive.
the 90s. No, in the 90s.
Yeah.
that was the only thing that was on TV. It was them and the Bills.
Yeah.
Who?
The Browns.
Browns.
Really?
Yeah, in the 90s. That's how it was. That's why there's Cleveland Browns fans here, because that's the teams they watched.
Well, there's every team here, right?
Yeah.
But obviously the Browns are laughing stock of the NFL until they
Laughingstock
do
of sports.
until they do something different. But wouldn't you cheer for them if they had a winning season and they can make the playoffs and you just get behind that bandwagon? Your boy's hurt.
I'd be happy to see them.
I like watching greatness. So if there's a good team, I'm watching them. Like that's how I feel. I like watching greatness.
But it will not be the Browns this year.
screwed up, but it won't be the
Yeah.
Browns.
They always find a way to screw it up.
Shit, the
Yeah.
Browns
What's going on here?
just screw it up. So
Just
Yeah, I don't know. Barkley, I think he's going to be special. I'll say that. So anything else in the NFL?
No, not really. I don't really pay attention that much to the combine. I just
Really?
wanted
You
to
got
bring-
nothing else?
I just wanted
this
to
guy
bring-
doesn't care about college
Jesus.
sports,
I,
No,
I
man.
don't. I don't. Like. I don't. Do you watch the combine? Are you watching the combine?
No,
right
I
now?
was saying the NFL. Combine. Forget the combine.
There's plenty going on. Like Steelers are.
Yo, Le'Veon Bell's getting franchise tagged again.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
This guy said if they franchise tag me again.
And then he said today he's not going to skip the season.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why he does that.
So what is $14 million guaranteed this year if he gets franchise tagged?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. This is what's going to happen. So they're going to franchise tag him this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to franchise tag him next year.
Yeah.
And at that point he's going to be 28. I believe.
24.
20,
They
no,
don't-
no.
it-
If
it
franchise tag
doubles.
him this year. No, not the money. I mean his age.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought you
Yeah,
meant
sorry.
the money.
Yeah, sorry. Probably should have made that more clear. So I think it would be 28 if they
I don't know,
franchise
man.
tag him twice.
Did they let him go?
So at that point, you're not getting a long term contract. That's his whole beef. He's like he wants a long term contract.
So he can sit out.
He's
No,
not
so
going
he
to
can
sit
pay,
out.
He's not going to sit out. Are you going to sit out 14? Are you going to miss?
How are you going to sit out? Like, what? How is that going to help your future anyway?
Because they're allowed to franchise tag him. That's the rules.
It's a dumb rule, man. I hate the franchise
Well,
tag rule.
blame the Players Association for agreeing to it.
Yeah, it's fair.
So the players agreed to this. So
Yeah. No, you're right.
they made their bet.
Now you got a lie in it.
And now you got to lie in it. So he's basically in poop creep because that's it. He's gonna get a franchise tag again, and he won't get a long term contract, and that's it. I don't blame the Steelers for doing it.
No,
It's
it's,
within their
again,
rights.
it's just
It's within their rights, and they got to. Is Brown have a long term contract? I don't know.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he
he's got a
he
long-term
long-term
contract.
Finally.
he signed it last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, and you got Odell Beckham Jr. saying that they better pull up the Brinks truck. He didn't say that, but he wants $20 million a year.
Remember he sat out last year. They were just.
I think Gronk is up right now, and I'm guessing he's looking for a big contract.
Gronk said might retire.
No, he's playing.
Yeah.
As long as Brady's playing, he's playing.
Yeah.
I got something I'm gonna throw at you guys. I would trade them both.
Of course you would.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay Odell Beckham Jr. $20 million, Paul?
I don't have any money for that. Why not, man? He's arguably, all antic society, he's probably the best wide receiver in the game.
Probably.
So how does he not get paid?
When he's
healthy, yeah, but like he's ridiculous.
he's
Out
good.
of the top 5, and I don't expect you guys to name this up, but out of the top 5 receivers in today's game, how many have gone to a Super Bowl?
Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, top 5. Come on. Antonio Brown, he's 1-2.
Okay, fair enough.
Gronkowski.
He's not a wide
He's not a
receiver.
receiver. He's tight
No,
end.
he's a top receiver in the league.
You don't the top receivers and it's not their fault because it's a team thing.
They
It's
take
a
the
whole
money,
team thing,
that's
but
all.
And numbers are numbers. Like,
Yeah,
Randy
it's the same
Moss
thing.
went when he was top receiver in the league.
And then he dropped off. Was he? He wasn't that great
Yeah.
on that team.
Oh, no.
Oh no, he was. No, he was
he-
pretty good on a Patriots team. But I'm talking right now. I'm talking today though.
Today.
And he dropped off the cliff right after that season.
Larry Fitzgerald went to a Super Bowl.
he's not top 5 anymore.
No.
No,
But
Julio
he
Jones
was
Super
in
Bowl.
his-
There's a top
Julio
5
Jones
in
top
almost
5.
every Super Bowl. Now that I think about it, if you really actually think
Julio
about it,
Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a top 5.
He's top 5. But really, you don't need that.
no, you don't need one. You
don't
do
need
not.
one.
You do
You
not.
don't need one to
It
win
is
a
not
Super Bowl.
needed. It is not needed.
So if you're gonna pay guys that much money as a receiver, it's not worth it.
I don't know. I think you pay defense. Speaking of defense, the Eagles,
Yeah, they got your boy Bennett.
the rich
Yeah.
get richer. There's a fire sale in Seattle right now.
Yes,
and
Richard,
I don't know
Richard
why.
Sherman's gone.
Because
Sherman's gone. They're listing the trades on Earl Thomas. Like, what's happening there?
But
because
you know
they're
what?
paying those guys too much money.
And Richard Sherman's not that good anymore.
No, it's not.
People are still thinking he's good, but that was like 5 years ago with the
don't think
whole
that-
Yeah.
sorry ass receiver
and then
Crabtree
Russell Wilson's
speech.
playing baseball. What's happening in Seattle? What is going on? Like, what?
That's just a sideshow.
That is crazy.
It's not the first time he's done that. He's done that before.
Well, he's been
Can
drafted.
you name the 3 teams that Russell Wilson's been a part of in baseball?
Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Yankees.
Who drafted him?
I know this.
It's a National League team.
It wasn't Washington.
Think Corey.
It wasn't Washington. It was
Think Corey.
Corey.
Why do we say his name
Colorado?
again?
Yeah.
Oh, Colorado drafted him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They traded his rights, didn't they?
To Texas, and then Texas traded his rights to New York. I don't know why. Like,
Like, can you imagine? You're just just getting traded back and forth.
But what's the cost of really?
Nothing, but it's so funny.
I don't like. He's not gonna play.
Yeah.
You're like sitting on the phone. You're like, hey, I'll check you Russell
Why?
Wilson.
They should.
It sells tickets, right?
If he wanted to play, like, why wouldn't they let him?
Because who is the reliever? Mariano Rivera tore his ACL catching a fly ball in center field.
Yeah.
That's why Russell Wilson will never play.
But
that's
a
the
freak
reason.
accident,
I understand, but that's why.
Well, if you're paying Russell Wilson, what, $20 million a year? Or something like that? I don't know,
Yeah. Totally.
Would you let him play baseball professionally?
Let him play some shortstop.
Back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
Deion Sanders
Back
did
in the
it.
day, guys
Bo
did
Jackson
it.
did it.
Until that was the very day where they were like, no, never again. That guy was having fun catching fly balls.
Okay, so by that logic, why they let Russell Wilson play a spring training game for the Yankees?
I don't know.
Because something could have happened then.
I know.
It's
So
more like
if you're letting that happen, then
You
why-
should let him play in a game. I get it, but that's why.
I think it's like training for them. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're
You're
not going to play a
working out.
professional game, but you can throw the ball
he
around.
played a
Have
game.
fun.
He played a game of spring
Yeah.
training.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. He could have ran a base and blew his
could've.
ACL.
He could've. He
He could
totally
have hit a
could've.
sprinkler system, like
Dude, I know.
Blue Jay, my man. Blue Jay.
Strowman.
Yeah. Jonathan Tavares played hot, and next Olympics, they weren't there. Just,
He was playing hockey. That's how he got hurt.
yeah, I was playing
That's the sport he
He was
plays.
playing the Olympics, though.
I know. That's the sport he plays.
I know. The NHL didn't go back. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I see
It
what you're saying.
happens.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
just takes that one little freak accident. I'm sure Seattle looked at him and were like, nah, I'm sorry, man, you can't. Remember that time that guy was catching fly balls for fun?
Yeah.
Nah.
So, yeah, the fire sale in Seattle is like they paid the defensive players. They paid them, and now they can't win because too much money. Because they don't have an offensive line in Seattle because they're paying the defense so much money.
I hate how in the NFL, like, these guys sign their contracts and the money keeps going up, and you know you're not getting the last couple of years of these deals. It just consistently happens. They look and like, oh, you're gonna make $12 million this year? Nah.
Yeah, not guaranteed. That's how it goes, right?
Why don't you want your contracts? Your first year you get 10, second year you get 8, third year you get like how hockey does it, friend load them. So it makes
but what
sense
if
for
you
companies to
get
keep a
better?
guy.
what if you get better?
That's your fault for signing a contract.
Yeah, well, I guess.
Well, then I guess
Like Jose Bautista in baseball.
But as you get older, maybe when you're younger they go this way. As you get older, guy's 24. All right, man, we'll sign for 5 years, right? But
Doesn't
now
work
you're
in
past your peak. You're 28.
this is why free agency has caused so much like
Turmoil.
yeah in sports. I'm still under the like thought that they should just give people 1-year deals every year.
Yeah.
After you, okay, so like
that's so much
So
fun.
depending on your sport, like you say you play 6 years, you have 6 years of service in your sport, or maybe football you bring it down to like 4 years because the lifespan's so short. Maybe hockey you have 6 years, baseball 6 years before you can get a free agent, right?
Yeah.
But like maybe after that you start getting individual. I don't know, like
Well, I think basketball has it right. It's 4 or 5 years. Is it 4 years?
5.
isn't it 2 years? Then you have an option.
No, yeah, the bird rights.
Oh, the start.
Yeah, but you
the
can
start of your
release
career
someone
is
after 2
3
years.
plus 1.
Yeah.
So 3 plus 1, then you hear first free agency.
I think basketball is the best contracts because they're so short. There's like,
You can't go past 5.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go past 5. Like when Montreal signed Carey Price, I don't know, was it 8 years?
8
what are
years,
you-
like 80 million.
What are you doing? It hasn't even kicked in, and already they're like, damn it. They probably regret that to this day.
Hey, this
And it hasn't
summer-
even kicked in.
Who did that deal? The guy's like no longer with the company. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know why they're letting Bergevin make deals. I don't understand.
That's your
We
team,
want
bud.
you here for life.
That's your team, bro.
What? Yeah, no, for life.
But you know what? When they offered him, no one complained.
Nope. When he signed
I
it,
did. I thought it was too long. He's 30 years old. That's way too long.
they want you playing your last game with this team.
So silly.
I don't like this past prime. Like, I don't nostalgia.
long can
Why
you
do
get
you
in
do it?
How long can you get in baseball?
What do you mean?
10 years.
As long as you want, man.
Yeah, they signed
There's
guys.
no limit on their
No,
contracts.
Albert Pujols is signed forever.
Albert Pujols signed when he was like 31. He signed a 10-year
signed
deal
forever.
for $250 million.
Forever.
Miguel Cabrera is like in year 3 of a 7-year contract that's paying him until he's 42.
What I want to understand is when GM signed that, do they think that's great? He's 30 years old now,
'cause
so I'm going to
they-
sign him through he's 40.
No, they sign him so you get the last of his prime years, and that's all they care about, right? That's all they care about. That keeps the fans happy for a couple years. Like Miguel Cabrera has 7 years more, I think, or maybe it's 5 years more,
Yeah.
at $33 million each year, and he is deteriorating. He's deteriorating.
I think once you sign your final payday, what are you playing good for? If that money is guaranteed, who cares?
You're paying for
it's
championship.
pride,
Sit out half the game, try to win a championship.
Like when your work is your paycheck at the end of the day, Smythe, do you say, they gave me my money?
If
I don't have to work today.
if work said, "Hey, we're going to pay you until 2025, keep up the good work," I'm going to be like,
it's more
"Yeah,
of a
I'm
pride
taking
thing.
vacation
No, it's more of a
tomorrow,
pride thing.
taking vacation next week."
Nah, I don't believe you'll do that. It's more of a pride thing. If they say, hey, you're good for another 10 years here, don't worry about it. You'll still work hard. You'll still work hard.
I just
Unless you're super lazy.
I
But
totally don't believe you, but anyway.
I would work.
I'm still fascinated by the free agency this year for baseball. Like as we were starting this, I got a breaking news of Mike Moustakas signing a contract.
Oh, yes, he's one of the big ones. What did he sign for?
Just guess what he signed for. He just signed.
What was he asking for? What was the rumors asking for?
Everyone wanted $20 million a year.
$20 million a year for a long
In to compare, Hosmer got 8 years, like $165 million, right?
Who signed him?
San Diego.
He got 20.
No.
Where did he sign?
He
13 a year for 4 years.
He just signed a 1-year contract
Holy
for $6.5 million
Really?
with Kansas City. So he's staying. 1 year, 6.5 for an all-star. Dude hit 39 home runs last year. It's just this free agent market is insane right now. Like it's crazy.
Baseball GMs right now are saying, we screwed up. We gave these guys way too much money.
Those days are over.
We are resetting it now.
I wish we could fast forward to next year and see what kind of
those guys are
contracts,
gonna
because I don't know if it's gonna go
think
crazy next year.
I don't think Donaldson's going to get paid.
If Moustakas got 6.5,
Donaldson's not
he's
getting paid.
younger, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he does as much production, but Moustakas is like a Gold Glove third baseman, an all-star. 6.5 million. That's it. I can't believe that, man.
Insane.
And yeah, there's no Donaldson has to look at that and go, oh man. Let me get that 5-year, $100 million contract.
Were you guys
please.
offer you guys?
Yeah.
Were you
I
guys
can see
offer?
that.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Jays want him now. If
Well-
you're a Jays, I don't think you're
Well,
gonna
here,
want him.
Vladdy Guerrero played today in his first professional game. He played him, Bichette,
Yeah.
Alford, Gurriel Jr., all the future played
Heard
today.
Alfred had a good game too.
All of them did.
Yeah.
Vladdy went 4 for 5 today. Alfred went 3 for 4. The future's bright. But
that is not a good look.
Do you see what I'm saying? No,
I
Smythe,
said
Donaldson-
already, his backup's already playing. I don't understand why you give Donaldson money, but the problem is this city loves that guy, and so does Wells.
Yeah,
So
and they'll love Vladdy when he comes up.
I know.
I was
but
gonna
you
say
can-
that too.
You can figure if you sign Donaldson and you have Vladdy, that's a good problem to have, right? Because you can still play Donaldson at DH, or you can put him in first base.
If he's willing to play first base, I'll give him.
Anyone can play for Vladdy.
Yeah.
Vladdy would probably play first base before him.
I want Vladdy at third, but if Donaldson can play,
Do you though? Have you seen him play third?
He's not good.
He's not really built for third base. I don't think.
Oh, really?
I don't know where else they would put him. He's a future first base
Put him at
DH.
first. Put him at first.
He's he reminds me of an Edgar Martinez. Edgar Martinez came as a third baseman. Started playing first base, and then he just DH for last 10 years
then it
of his
works. It's
career.
fine.
But
Okay, well, put Vladdy at first.
but the Jays, I think a lot of people will bash him. I think they're playing it smart this year with Donaldson. It's he's not going to get any more money than what he thinks he's going to get, right? And even if he has another MVP year, he's not going to get $25 million a year, $20 million a year. It's not going to happen.
not in this market.
No, because he's going to be a 33-year-old next year when the season starts, in 2019.
What's the ideal contract for Donaldson?
Donaldson?
For you,
I would
for
say-
the Jays. For the Jays, the ideal contract.
I would say 3 years at 20 million a year,
I was going to say.
and maybe give him an option, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you front load it, maybe go 25, 25.
Give him an
15.
Encarnacion.
He'll be the same age as Encarnacion was when he got
I was
his.
gonna say, give him the Encarnacion deal, but
And
give him
he
the
can
fourth
move around.
year.
He
Give
can
him
move
what he
around.
wants. Give him your
you can
4.
move- No, I wouldn't know.
Well, give maybe an option fourth year with a $5 million buyout, so you're guaranteed $65 million, guaranteed. Not too bad. Especially
I think that would be a great contract because seeing what Moustakas got, which
Well,
is that's still blowing.
it's
I'm
a
still
great
wrapping my
contract,
mind around
and
that.
it's everyone would be happy. And then you know what? You have Donaldson who can mentor Vladdy or whatever, right? And all these young kids coming
mentor.
up. Hey, man, everyone needs it because
I think give him the Donaldson treatment.
That is insane.
He goes around the league. He gets whatever offers. He comes back. We offer him one more good year. Then he's out. The talent is there.
I think Donaldson has to be sitting back, looking at what Moustakas got, looking what these guys got, looking back, and maybe because I think he's going to wait to see what the big names next year get. But
he may not have like that is not good for him because
he has to be reevaluating.
Well,
It's
isn't
like, what am
he's
I gonna
fourth
get?
or fifth on the picking order?
well, it's going to go
Next year?
Harper, Kershaw, and Machado, right?
Right.
And Machado's
So-
already at his position,
Yeah.
so Machado's going to get the highest out of like for third baseman, right? He's obviously going to get paid more than Donaldson because he's like 6 years younger.
Harper's going to get paid because what is he, 26 or something like that?
He'll be 26 when he's a free agent.
Doesn't matter.
So he's
Yeah.
like 26. No, he's way younger. So
Yeah. Well, the concept.
Actually, next year he'll be 27 when the season starts.
Yeah.
So
And your
that's a guy you give like 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah.
But like he's probably going to get like 10. He's probably going to get like $400 million. That's my guess.
if any stupid organization gives him like 10 years, which is dumb. He's
He's going to go. He's going to go to the Cubs.
Yeah, he's probably getting like 6 years.
so his like Donaldson's replacements already at major league level.
Or
I don't know
on the
about
come
that.
up. On the come up. Yeah, he's on the come up.
Well, if he plays this year and he's ramping up, he's
I think
at
he should
major
play
league.
this year, but
Okay.
He's
Who knows?
19, man. He's 19.
I think he should. I
But
hate
he's-
this.
he's
I hate
there.
The thing about
Yeah.
these rules is they do it because the person before them did it. It's like, oh, he can't play because you have to come through the minor leagues because that's how we done it before.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
if
so
you
silly to me.
think of
Play
all
him.
the teenagers that have been in MLB. They usually are the greatest players in the game, right?
Most
It's
of
like
them, yeah.
Bryce Harper, 19 years old when he got called up. Okay, Ken Griffey Jr., 19 years old when he first got called
Yeah.
up. Who else is there? There's Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Like these are all like A-Rod. Like you have to be amazing. Baseball's such a mental sport too, right? So. I don't see. There's no rush to bring Vladdy up this year. He won't come up this year unless it's like an absolute turmoil.
There's no rush.
season.
I personally would play him. There isn't. You are right, Wells. There is no rush.
No.
I personally would play him, but that's just me.
Give him a full season
Yeah.
at like AA, AAA. See what he does. If I mean, hey, if he's hitting like 360, hitting bombs, playing good
Yeah,
defense,
yeah.
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know.
I'm still wrapping.
I think
my head around-
Donaldson's in a bad situation for himself.
I agree.
Well, it's not really quote unquote bad because he's still gonna get millions of dollars. Like you're still getting millions of dollars,
but,
but you're not getting what you.
But I think
thought.
he wants to get like an insane deal, and it's just not going to happen.
No. And I think they were saying that the Jays have an issue overvaluing their players. The guys that left Toronto this year, a lot of them aren't playing Major League Baseball at all.
No, like Ryan Gomes got a minor league contract.
Yeah, forget-
Darwin Barney's out of the league.
None of these guys got money.
Gio
So
Carrera got DFA'd.
if you're looking at that,
sorry, Smythe.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but that team was exciting for 2 years. Like the
I'm
team
not.
they had
I'm not
was
saying they're not
yeah.
exciting. What I'm saying is the players that the Jays let go to free agency, what they're getting in the free agent market, suggesting that they're not as good as we value them at while they were here. The teams were good, but we're doing it with say subpar major league players. The market's saying they're not even major league quality players. Yeah. So the Jays have brought in major league quality players.
Yes.
So this team should A, be better, and B, we have a superstar, because that's what Donaldson is, on his way out. He's about to head to this market where this team overvalues their players. Yeah. So if Donaldson got $23 million and they're saying, oh, the Jays overvalue their stuff, when this guy hits the market and he's 33 years old, they're saying,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? So the Jays want to pay him this much. Ha ha ha.
I don't know if you really overvalue Donaldson. The guy is an MVP, and he's
Was.
when healthy. Yeah, I mean we're 3 years ago. Like that's
a long time.
fun. Yeah, but like last year, he missed like a month, but
Yeah.
he put up MVP numbers in the time that he was playing. Once he got rid of that stupid thing on his face, that face guard. He also announced today what his walk-up music will be.
Which is
Hail Mary by Tupac.
Oh, come on. I do like the hick in him. He reminds me of
The hick in him.
yeah, he reminds me of Patrick Kane.
He's from Florida, but he went to like Auburn.
okay.
He reminds me of,
Reminds you of Patrick here?
yeah, he reminds me of Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane's a good old hockey hick. Donaldson looks like he grew up in a trailer park. It's just like I like him. He's a good
Patrick
guy.
Kane without punching out taxi drivers.
Yeah.
No, but to add on to the point you said, like how we overvalue our players, that's like you nailed it. Like we like people are so sad to see like Ryan Goins go. I'm like, are you kidding me? That guy was crap. Like, don't get me wrong, great defensive player. You know, maybe once every 60 games he did something like, wow, man. But like that guy was crap. That guy was doo doo. Darwin Barney was like not that good.
That happens in every market, especially with, like
No.
It happens a lot in Toronto.
No, I Toronto is apparently
No,
like
no, it happens a lot.
no, but apparently we were bad. Like the last year, the guys that left this team are not good enough to play on another major league team.
Switching sports, Washington clearly overvalues the Wizards. They thought the Wizards were top 2 in the East, and they never been that. Like
But
it happens
no.
in every market where people
But
just
if-
they think
No, we're
their
talking about players.
We're talking about a guy leaving your team that was an everyday player that can't be an everyday player in the rest of the league.
Yeah, well, it happens in every league.
Hey,
It happens in
30
every-
teams in baseball,
And
no
he-
one wants him.
Yeah, I know.
He couldn't sign a deal to make any roster in the league.
Because the Jays had to get him because they had no other choice. They
And
didn't
it's
have
not-
anyone to fill him.
It's not one guy.
No, but it happens in every sport. It
Four
happens in every team.
dudes.
Happens in every team.
I think that's a problem.
Happens in every team because they're not. You can't have an all-star at every position, and you're just trying to fill spots.
Yeah, you
right?
can.
No, but you can have a serviceable.
I guess you can in baseball. You technically
You can
in
have a
theory,
major league player.
Yeah, you could.
They didn't have major league players, is what
yeah.
the market is saying.
Yeah.
They had minor leaguers.
Like Jose
playing
Bautista is now contemplating retiring.
because he can't
He
find
can't
a
get
baseball
contract.
team.
'Cause he
Like,
can't get a contract.
are you kidding me?
And
Well,
at
they didn't know- they
the
didn't know
beginning
about
of the 2016 season, he said he wanted 5 years, $150 million. Fast forward 2 years, two spring
sports,
trainings ahead,
And
and
he
he can't
can't
get
get
a job.
I love sports, man. You see how quick that happened?
Yeah.
And Blue Jay fans were upset that they didn't sign him for long term. They were upset. No, they
Yeah.
weren't. They were mad. They were
No,
saying,
fans were, but
Fans
people
were.
that know baseball were like, "This is not a good investment."
You also
they
think about like how many fair weather fans are in Toronto.
yeah.
so many.
Okay.
Well, in every market.
To be
There's-
honest-
you fall in love with your guy, right?
They did Batista wrong. Batista gave them 5 good years at 15.
Oh, the contract that Anthopoulos gave him after he had that one good year.
Yeah.
Steal. I agree.
Yeah,
That wasn't
But-
doing him wrong. He signed it.
Yeah.
He could have said no.
I know, but
But
still,
no, that was also a big gamble because he had never done anything in baseball, and then he comes out and hits a 54 home run season.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And then they sign him for 5 years
And
with
he-
a 6-year
he
option,
hit some
and he
home
lived
runs.
up to it the
Yeah.
whole time.
He
But
earned
that's
that.
like a good contract. It was good for both of them.
Yeah.
They took a chance and it worked out. Same with Edwin. They did the same thing, right? But like now it's a new management and it's a lot of risk
Dame
control,
Payne.
man.
They're taking a lot of heat, but I think if you just actually look at the Jays, like they filled a few holes there.
No, their team is so much better. This
yeah,
year.
I think they're back in the playoffs.
You know what makes it better? Depth.
Yes.
That's it. They may not have brought in flashy guys, but like,
No, but they-
maybe Curtis Granderson needed this
Wow,
ballpark to.
that Morales signing, I think, was an eye opener because you fill a hole, you don't spend a
Well,
lot of money, and you got good production.
Between Morales and
Edwin
Edwin. No, yeah, I think
or Smoke. What are you talking
Smoke. Sorry, no. Who am I talking about right now?
about? I don't know. Take it away.
Morales and
Travis.
oh, Travis
If-
not playing.
If he can get healthy,
He is healthy.
Between the two of them, they will fill up the hole that Edwin left.
Travis is
Offensively.
second baseman.
No, offensively.
He's saying with the production, but
Offensively.
Morales had a
Well,
good year.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't have a good year.
What do you
That's
do?
what I'm saying. Combined. That's what I'm saying. Combined. If they can fill.
Oh yeah, for sure, the combined.
Well, I
But
talked
that's
about this
two guys.
with Benny, and it's like everyone's like, "Oh my god, that Morales contract's terrible." Look, he's just gonna go there to hit, but you gave him $11 million a year, okay, and Edwin's getting paid $20 million a year.
Yeah,
Okay, he put up 2/3 of the production that Edwin did, and
For
you're
half the
paying him
money.
for half the money.
Yeah.
it's a good deal.
So really, like, people are complaining about so much. Oh, he can't run, he can't field. Yeah, but like you didn't get him to do that. You got him to hit bombs, drive people in, and he did that for the most part. Like, it wasn't a pretty year, but like, if you look at value wise, they win that deal.
Yes.
And plus, you got to let Justin Smoke play a whole year, starting first baseman in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know, man. People bash this organization
It's fans.
because of they're still stuck in that 2015 year,
Yeah.
right? Where like they got attached to all these players. Like Kevin Pillar should have been traded already. Like, I don't know why he's still on this team.
Remember, I was the only one waving my head like I don't like Pilar. Why is he on this
Well,
team?
do you know
Like,
what?
He
I
can't
thought of
hit.
Here's the thing: every guy can't hit. Someone's got to bat 8th or 9th. When Kevin Pillar moves up to your 5th spot, you have a
terrible.
problem,
It's
right?
terrible.
When Kevin Pillar is batting leadoff, you have a problem. But someone's got to be in those slots. That's where he belongs. He makes some plays on defense. I don't think he's a great center fielder, which a lot of people disagree with.
Look,
I
man.
think
Because
he likes to
jumps
dive for
around.
balls.
Like, he jumps
Exactly.
around. That's why people
Yeah,
like
he
him.
makes some flashy catches. He do that 3 times a year, and everyone's in love with him.
Right.
Like, you got guys like Anthony Alford coming up who will do so many more things better than he will.
Without diving, he'll just be where the ball is. He's just fast, so he'll just be
He'll
there.
run the proper route to get there.
Yeah, he'll
but
just
then
make
he
it
can
easy.
also make better decisions at bat and
Yeah.
do more things to help you win.
I'm glad you guys are coming over to my side, employer.
Well, I was never.
I've always been a part of.
I've never liked it.
Like
I've never liked
his
it.
breakout year, I was like, trade the dude for some pitching.
I just never liked
Get
it.
something
Dump
because he can't do anything other than chase a ball down and jump.
This guy just dives. I'm like, what are you diving for? Get under the ball.
I mean, I applaud him. He was a 31st round draft pick, which to make the majors, that's unheard of, right?
Yeah.
But like, while he has value, trade him.
Yes.
Someone will take him.
Yeah. I think the Jays were more concerned, and maybe orders from high above, like put butts in the seats. Like we're making a lot of money.
They were converting the puck bunnies, and that was more
And
important.
Pilar
at
was
the time.
Pilar was one of those guys
Exactly.
that put
That's
butts in
exactly
the seats
what it
because look, he's diving again.
Oh my God! Look, he jumped. Oh, he got it.
And they could put a bobblehead out of him in like a
Right?
cave.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, didn't want to go over to baseball. But
I will say this: I'm the most excited to watch the Jays this season.
No, you're not.
I am. I'm
over under 5 games. Smythe watches fully of the Jays
On TV?
Yes, on
Over.
TV.
on the TV.
Oh, you think he's gonna watch more than 5 games?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Under
I'm gonna
that.
go with Wells more than 5
Oh,
games.
you'll
this year.
go. I'm not disputing that. But
Oh,
actually
you mean
watching
actually
on TV.
look at the game. There's nothing else going on in the summer.
Yeah.
Baseball's on. I'm not intently washing dishes and living my life while baseball's on, but baseball's on. I am dedicating myself to understanding the concept of pitching this year and
understand
why I get pitches
you
and
understand
the
it.
basics of it, but I want to get what's a pick because here's my goal is to buy a PS4 and beat
You wanna play the
Wells
show?
at the show. And I gotta know baseball to compete. I know I got work to do.
Yeah. Hey, man, I welcome that.
I
That'll
smell
be-
another 7-game series
Oh
coming
man.
Oh, it would only be 4 games. And I would take a minor league team again.
It'll be
on. I beat you with a Buffalo
I'm
Bites.
going to watch
Go
this
ahead.
guy
it's-
swing at changeups all day. He's like,
No,
I can't hit.
it's baseball. It's gonna be a best of like 55 series because we're just gonna play all summer. There'll be no pods in the summer. It's just us streaming baseball games.
We got to fill the void somehow.
I didn't want to go to baseball, but that was good.
Yeah,
Yes, I like baseball. 'cause you can talk about
The
it.
show comes out in 2 weeks, man. The new one.
I
I'm not gonna
swear it
lie.
just came out.
Guys, I'm gonna get a PS4.
Shit, man.
I'm gonna buy
Can you,
it.
can you play the show on Xbox?
No, it's the only baseball game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Only I'm gonna get a PS4.
that's why I got a PS4
just for that and for Street Fighter 5.
and for Fortnite.
No one's playing Fortnite.
Should I get a PlayStation?
What do you mean no one's
Yes.
playing
Should I
Fortnite?
get a PlayStation?
No, get both.
I'm only getting one.
Maybe get PlayStation. Maybe. But will you play baseball with us?
No.
You will.
No,
clearly
I
play
like
Fort-
baseball games. I like baseball games.
You'll probably play Fortnite with us.
I love baseball. Remember the original baseball?
Which one?
There's all they had
Oh
was like.
yeah,
RBI baseball?
I'm a huge.
No, it wasn't RBI. I just said baseball.
Oh,
so
the
they,
original
all the
baseball
characters
game?
all the
Yeah.
characters look the same.
Yeah,
but they
that
had
was
the
the best
numbers
game.
and the stats.
Yeah.
So you knew who they were. And stuff
Oh,
like
I was
that.
a big Ken
No,
Griffey
that was Ken
Jr.
Griffey.
fan.
That was Ken Griffey.
That was good. No. It was
And
just
they had
baseball.
like the fake like Rocky Balboa was playing on like Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. baseball.
And the only
that changed
baseball
the game.
player in the game was Ken Griffey.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great game.
But like they had the likeness of all the players, but just didn't have their name.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was a great game.
that was.
But I loved
But I think I'm gonna get. I
Do it,
think,
man. Do
yeah,
it.
Anyway,
that'll be
okay.
fun.
I think that concludes our podcast for today.
That's it.
That's
I feel
it.
like we're at an hour and a half.
We're at an hour and a half.
Jesus.
Smythe, tell the people where they can find us.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I got love from my Tumblr peeps. But also, now you can find us on YouTube. Go on YouTube, type in the team_podcast. We do a lot of video game stuff. I've been streaming myself playing games. I'm pretty dope. So, yeah, it's a good time. I used to play that game with my dad, to be honest with you. The original baseball, because that's the baseball for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I play that with my dad all the time.
I'm showing them the game I was talking about.
Yeah,
Baseball.
We had a great
on
time
Nintendo.
playing it. They automatically fielded for you, so my dad was down because did all the work. All you do is throw to the bases to get guys out. Very exciting game. Wells, Horseplay.
Horseplay Podcast. You can find us on anything, man. Like, just search for Horseplay Podcast. It's on iTunes. You can check us out on Instagram, Horseplay_podcast. There's a link for the podcast in that. That's
Your
about
Twitter,
it.
man. Your Twitter.
Twitter handle is Horseplay Pod. At Horseplay Pod.
What's your
Get at
Twitter?
me.
What's your Twitter in case people want to start talking?
People want to
some
talk to
baseball?
me? You want to talk some baseball? You want to talk any sports? You want to get a hold of me? You want to play me online in the show? Or you want to play some Fortnite with me?
Going. Getting deep.
Check me on Twitter at Veepin52. Also on Instagram, Veepin52. Holla at your boy.
Smythe, what's your Twitter?
My Twitter, it's Smythe the Wonder.
Smythe the
It's my
Wonder.
Facebook, my Xbox gamer tag. Soon to me, I guess my PlayStation ID. But yeah,
And please, guys, as you know, you can find all this, everything, at the parkdaily.com. theparkdaily.com. Just check it out. You can stream everything. All our information's there. You want to know anything about us? This summer we are going to be upgrading it a lot. Me and Smythe got to sit down. Never actually all
Nash Wells and Smythe host the Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.